bro.
So people just say it is pink. It's pink. Everybody said it's pink.
It's a 50-50 actually. Nobody agreed.
No? Yeah, a lot of people said pink.
But I literally saw it just the other day. It literally said 50-50. But I literally just saw it the other day. It said 50-50.
Alright, we're gonna have a discussion.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Put it on. Start the podcast first. Start the podcast so we can see.
No, we need to check sound levels.
Alright, don't look it up yet.
Alright.
Oh, so you can hear
What
us?
the fuck? Wait.
Like if you can hear if it sounds good or not?
Yeah.
Hey.
I can hear you. I can't hear them. Talk.
Hello?
The fuck?
What was that?
Oh, wait.
He's like,
Oh, my shit's all the way down. That means really your shit's too loud. Because I hear my shit through yours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There you go. Okay.
He said that shit's too loud.
That's why you gotta test this shit first.
People will be like,
You on
what
top.
can we hear, Marty? What the
No, you go over here.
Nah, it's not over there.
Okay.
I think it's a little
That's not what I did.
too loud? Or too close?
Go to here.
Nigga, that's what I wrote. Fucking click archive. It's just post archive. You gotta go to story archive.
I have it right
man.
here. Alright, start it up.
Alright, yeah, start it up.
Oh, I switched, huh?
I told you it was 50-50.
Why don't you guys... That's crazy. 50-50, so it's pink.
Bro, that's... Nah, bro.
Ah, you fucking cheated. You voted pink with the Ramblings account. Yeah, you cheater. You cheater.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, you cheating.
Did I post it on my account then? Because I know damn well other people were responding and it said, even Deanna texted me saying, you're colorblind because that's pink. And I was like, no, your brother's colorblind. Unless I posted it on my account. Let me check.
It's
That's
fucking pink,
50-50.
bro. It's fucking pink.
That's
It's
because
50-50, it's the two people, it's Wardo and Ronnie, which are the ones that voted red. So he's talking about me about ramblings in the basement, but yeah, they still did the same shit too.
That's pink, bro.
Alright, you're gonna start this shit for real.
Okay, here's the better results. Okay, let's go.
This motherfucker. Shows you how he's changing the results. Oh, these results, I didn't like these results. Let's pull up the results that I like.
That's the
He's not tampering evidence at all.
No, it's the results.
He's not tampering evidence
it's
at
the
all.
results that.
I didn't like these results. Let's pull up the results I like.
I see what I start that shit.
This is what I saw.
That's not cheating at all.
It's not cheating.
I agree with this.
I agree. These ones count. I agree with them. What up and welcome back to another Ramblings in the Basement. It's your boy Theory.
Ivancito.
Rojas.
And we're back in this bitch. This is actually our first time recording here. I don't know why I say we're back. Like, y'all never seen us here. This is his crib, by the way. Appreciate you for hosting us.
I really do. This is really comfortable. I like having like on the couch.
It's been a while. Yeah, actually, for those of y'all that don't know, this is actually where the podcast originally started. Was we would just be high as fuck having these conversations. That's where the idea for this podcast started. To be honest, we would always be high as fuck, rambling in the basement, straight up.
It's not the basement no more. It's a townhouse.
Yeah, we're in the townhouse now, but the idea is still there. We rambling. we ramblers.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
This looks clean.
Bro, I love this shit. It's clean ass white. How long is it gonna last? Clean ass white? Who knows?
But it adds character.
I'm gonna definitely have to get another color because I don't want to wear this one out too much.
Nah, you can't get it dirty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to wear this one out too much. I want to get a different color.
Get it clean it with bleach and like keep it white.
He's like,
bro, I love white hoodies though, like or white sweaters. They look nice as fuck until they get dirty.
But going back, I have the
it's
pink,
results. Bro. It's hot pink.
We're going back to the results. I posted it on my Instagram. I posted it on the Ramblings account as well. That one said it was 50-50. He voted for it red. Ronnie voted it for red. So that's the two votes. And then I voted it on Ramblings pink. and then someone else voted it pink.
This man's just cheating. He's
Nah.
using the Ramblings account.
He
to
said, "I
vote.
vote. My pink votes is equals to."
If that's the case, then I could have used my vote and it would have still been 50-50.
Then you should have done that.
It was still the same. Look.
It's still the same.
But I put it on my account. I said, "Is this?" Look,
So 50-50.
I said, "Is this color?"
For everyone who voted, thank you for proving my point. This motherfucker. But just know, what did the manual say? The manual said red. And who made this shit? The people that wrote the manual.
Okay.
So what color is it?
Yeah, but red's on this side.
Yeah.
But so is that one. That's also supposed to be red. It's just a different shade of red.
Which is pink.
It's a muted.
Maybe-
It's a muted red.
You
Maybe
can't-
they
you
didn't
can't look
add
what you're
enough
saying.
red.
It's a different shade of red. Pink is a different
Muted
shade
red.
of red.
It's muted red though. It's not light
It's
red.
pink.
It's pink.
Look, Ryan voted pink.
This is
Edgar
like really
voted
red.
pink.
Because if
Yana
you
voted
say
pink.
that pink is this and this is red, they both would have been the exact same color, but they're not. Because this is straight red and that's pink.
8 people voted pink.
Okay.
What does it
Man-
matter?
the manual
It doesn't
still says
matter.
red.
It doesn't fucking matter.
And the manual still says red.
Maybe it does. Maybe they're colorblind.
Well, we know he's colorblind for a fact. So.
Red and green.
So.
It's not red and green.
So. Y'all make up your
He
decisions.
takes
Who's
off his
wrong?
glasses. Red and green. What the fuck?
Man's just proud of it too.
Okay, you're good. You're good. You got it. You got that.
Anyways,
But wait.
today's topic.
The one that said I was, hey, yeah, it's pink. Diana said it's pink, and she was like, and you're the colorblind one. And she still agreed with me.
Yeah, because it looked pink in the camera.
That's how it looks.
It looks more red in real life. The camera made it look more pink.
Look, now look
But
at this. You
we're
see
not
this?
we're not having this
You see
conversation
this?
right now. The topic is well, it was supposed to be angels and demons.
Hey, Ghost. Bring the camera here. Bring the camera.
Yeah.
Show
It's just gonna prove, I
the
mean,
proof. It's
that,
like
that doesn't change what I said. That the camera makes it look more pink.
it starts floating over here. Oh shit.
But yeah, today's topic, since Yvonne wants to derail on talking about the color or fucking sound,
Because we were just having a
audio
discussion
processor.
about this. And we never actually talked about it onto the podcast again.
It was 50-50 the last time. It's 50-50 now.
And then he rigged the vote, and then he was like, yeah.
I did not rig the vote.
This man didn't like the results, so he was like, yeah, let's do it again.
When the only two
Man.
people that voted red are the ones we're arguing it two against.
What?
Technically, we would have won then if
What?
Red had voted pink. I would have voted pink, and then that one other person would have voted pink. And
The manual still says red.
if
And the manual still says red.
you're gonna use that line.
Oh my god.
Okay. Besides that,
What's the topic?
it was gonna be angels and demons. I thought it was gonna be stoicism, but that was close to the last time. But we
So it's been 2 weeks now that we've pushed back the topic because a lot of shit's been happening in the news.
yep.
And so there's just a lot of shit to talk about.
She's been crazy.
So 2 weeks ago, we talked about all the Epstein files that came out and everything that happened with that shit. Now it's gone a little further than that. Now there's been someone connected to doing shit like that.
Another
And
person.
I don't know how.
Another person.
I don't know if we can get. We could probably get in trouble legally if we get too far into this shit. So I don't know. Like we should probably tread lightly a little bit with this.
I don't know that much of it. It's more you because you guys watched
But
the video.
basically,
We have to be blurring our face to be honest. That's,
blurring our face. No, it's fine.
uh,
We're not gonna get too deep into it because, like I said, we don't know that much. So we're not gonna say anything for fact. It's all alleged, right? But there has been somebody that's been found, an executive that works for BlackRock, that has been discovered allegedly. None of this has been proven. Allegedly using a website called rapey.co. Well, there's a bunch of different versions. There's rapey.su, there's rapey. Whatever, a bunch of different endings. The point is, it's a pedophile website where people go and check that shit out, and they have to. Really was seeing that shit. It's pretty fucked up. The way you sign up is you have to actually fill out a survey,
you have to fill out a survey.
and you have to they ask you questions, like really fucked up questions. And on top of that, you have to actually upload your own child porn to be able to like actually access some of the pages on there.
Yeah, on the video
So like
we
you
were
really
watching
have to,
and shit.
you really have to prove that you're one of them to be able to like really get on there, which makes it like you don't accidentally get on that website. Like if you're on that website, it's because you're one of them. Like you don't accidentally wander onto that.
You know
shit.
what's crazy?
Yeah, like and then the thing is like, you can literally look up on multiple websites that's email and all of them literally and there's a video literally it took 10 minutes. I swear to God, we were out. I got out of topic because they were trying to prove the point that it led to this person. That I had a side conversation with Eduardo, and then we go back into it, and they're still over here. And this website, this shows her and literally her address, and her name attached to it. Still, I'm just like, bro, that's crazy.
There's like a bunch of websites where it's like you can put an email address, and it'll show you all the information linked to it. And
It's kind of like
that's what he's talking about.
real estate.
And
then I was over here like, damn, that's what the scammers be getting your shit.
They were just showing the whole video of like a bunch of different websites, all proving that one email is linked to this one person.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Abigail Giller. She works for BlackRock.
Well, that's what they say.
Well, she does work for them. That's true. We do know that.
That
I don't know
part, yeah.
Well, we don't know for a fact that she's associated with that. But multiple different sources have said that she is. And we didn't really get to that part yet of the video because we just started recording here. But once they were confronted with that, they started acting real sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Not just her and her lawyer, but afterwards, the whole company too. They started like trying to hide shit.
What is Bedrock again?
Like,
For the people that don't know,
but
but
they're very much invested in multiple well-known companies. They own big portions of Spotify,
Walmart.
I think they own Walmart.
like a lot of
Most big companies that you
corporate
know of,
companies and all
they
that.
probably own a percentage of it.
And which one is the bank?
Well, there's a
JP
lot.
Morgan?
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan.
That's probably the one you're thinking of. Which, ironically enough, was mentioned in that video before you got there.
Really?
Apparently, her dad. Well, I think it said her dad, right?
yeah.
Her dad is associated with it, and J.P. Morgan had to pay out to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein because they were still doing business with Jeffrey Epstein. So they actually have at least business relationships, from what it seemed, with Jeffrey Epstein. So it is kind of sketchy that them have an association with him and also having a relationship with her, and then all of this is kind of all connecting.
I mean, if you really think about it, it's
Are you talking about the guy that was trying to defend her?
No, that was a different thing.
Here was a lawyer.
That was a different thing. This is a different thing.
But you know who Jeffrey Epstein is, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, Bedrock. No, was it J.P. Morgan? Was business with Jeffrey Epstein.
They were doing business.
Yeah, they were doing business with him. Doesn't mean they did anything, but like.
Yeah, but the fact that they're paying his
there's
victims,
no evidence,
the fact that they have to pay back his victims tells me like there might have been something shady going on. Because if you're just doing business with someone and they are doing illegal shit, that doesn't mean you're doing anything illegal. And so you're like actually doing it yourself. So it is a little shady. I don't know what's going on with that, and I don't want to get into legal trouble. Shit, we need to start making money for real, so we can hire a lawyer. So we can start talking about shit. Because I don't know what we're allowed to talk about or not like that.
I mean, some things too were. I mean, this is actually facts. So, I don't know if it's Bedrock. There's more. There's other ones.
Vanguard is another.
Vanguard. There's another one too. It starts with an F, I think, maybe. No. J.P. Morgan. That's
JP Morgan's another one.
There's three. I think there's like two more.
I know Chase Bank is pretty big too.
No, not that one. But I guess those main three. I don't know which one it is. Maybe Bedrock. Like in the 1900s, they pretty much, or like in the 1960s or 50s, they pretty much they're the ones who fund the public schools. They're the ones that do all the teaching, all the things that people wonder why we learn these type of things in school instead of actually learning like actual things that we should know.
Yeah.
They're the reasons why. It's because they're the ones who actually push or whatever the lesson. What are you doing?
But yeah, I don't know. This just
They're the ones that run the country right now. Pretty much, because they have so much money where they can just pay people off.
yeah. Well,
Because
that's
they own
problem.
basically like
I
80%.
don't know if you guys have been
most of
keeping
the
up with.
economy.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with like George Soros. I don't know if you guys know who that is,
No, you're not.
but he actually backs a lot of what do they call it? The judges, like people in the justice system. So he'll actually like support a lot of that shit, like letting criminals off. And you like, so if like you see like a lot of times like criminals will like they'll commit a lot of violent crimes and then they just end up like back out on the streets in like a couple of days. It's because a lot of judges that have been like supported.
Basically, like as long as they pay bail type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But then other people that don't even get that. Oh, not even that too.
Not even that. Sometimes they don't get like.
They literally get
sentenced
the
that much.
monopoly get out
They're
of
just
jail
like,
free
"All right, you're
card.
just gonna get on parole or something. Like they get light sentences.
That's crazy.
And that's actually what we were talking about the other day. Is,
So why? So they can keep doing the same shit. Like
That's yeah.
why do they want to put them in jail?
You know, there's actually been cases of there's this one guy. I don't remember the name, but I have to look into the shit. It's probably gonna be hard as fuck to find him now because they try to hide this
It's corrupt.
information. But there was a case of this one guy. He was doing shit like that, right? Where he was like having a history of being criminal, like violent criminal, and he ended up doing like a big like a public bombing, like a mass killing, where he bombed like a public. I think it was a school. Like he bombed a school. And then later it came out.
Swear, he bombed the whole fucking school?
Well, not like the whole school, but like he blew up part of his school, right?
That's fucked.
And later it came out, like during investigations, that he was actually in contact with the CIA, and they actually gave him instructions on how to build the bomb. They're the ones that actually taught him how to build it.
CIA told him?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but that was an actual case that came out.
CIA showed him how to
CIA
build.
taught him how to make the bomb.
Over the phone?
There's other not
I
for
think
this.
over the internet.
No, that yeah,
What
I've
the
heard about that too.
fuck?
But there's other conspiracies too. I'll say conspiracies.
Did he
'cause I
hack
don't
or
know.
something to the server? Or they just like willingly just told him like easily.
So,
Like,
well,
how the fuck did he act? Like, how did he even get contact with the CIA?
they have like agents that work on like forums. They're, like, you'll be just like on a forum, and like he doesn't like in his mind he might not even know that they're CIA. Like he's just talking to some random guy online, and he's like, oh yeah, you can make if you do this and this and this, like you combine these chemicals with these chemicals, they'll blow up, and you can do that shit and just go. Like they give him instructions exactly how to do it.
Bro, sometimes what the CIA does is they go find people that are like either depressed or have mentally problem like that mentally problem like mental
Yeah,
problems.
They create
so-
mass
They talk to them, do things or
Is there
whatever.
population control?
No,
I think
it's just a way for.
I mean, think about it, bro.
No, it isn't.
How do they
If
control?
No, it
there's-
isn't.
if there's like
No,
mass,
look.
like
No,
mass,
they
This is
have
what I
other
think.
ways of
This
doing
is what
that.
I'm thinking. This is what I think, and this is what I'm doing. They're doing that so they can create fears, so then they can pass laws, all this kind of stuff. It's a way to control
It's
us.
how to
Deeper,
control the
deeper.
narrative so they can control. Because think
It
about
puts
it. Every
fear.
time that shit happens, they start pushing gun control. They start pushing. Oh, you should be scared of guns because this crazy person might get guns. But most crazy people aren't.
oh, so like
Most
basically
people
taking
don't
our
do that
taking
shit.
our rights and
Yeah,
shit.
most people don't do that shit unless you brainwash them into doing it. But they try to like trick.
Basically, the
Dude,
fear.
your brain is so easy
Basically,
to
it's
Think about it.
fear.
Most
It's
people
fear.
don't go
Manipulation,
out. And just commit,
like-
Yeah, your
mass
mind is so
shootings.
easy
That's
to
not
get
something-
manipulated.
There's always cowards that was gonna want to always like have someone to run to,
And after they do it, they feel guilty as
And here's
well.
the thing: is
and
like
then people are gonna be like
a
that
more recent
if
example.
they take if I take our weapons away. People are gonna be
A more
cowards.
recent example would be the governor of Michigan. They planned. There was a plot. They were gonna kidnap her. Her name was Governor Whitmore. They were gonna kidnap her. It came out later during court cases that mostly the people that were plotting were CIA agents, and they were just trying to get people to help them so that they can then convict them and throw them in jail. So they try to convince people. They try to like peer pressure good people into committing crimes,
To find someone else to see if they're gonna.
so that they can basically blame them for doing what they want to do. Like they have their own, they have their own ideas, they have their own plans, what they want to do, they just find an innocent person.
They use it as pawns. Pawns.
Yeah.
Like pawns. They use them as pawns. So pretty much instead of them doing the dirty work, because if they do, technically it's bad. And they get
back to
yeah.
them.
So
which it still ends up getting traced, but it's easier to hide it. Whereas like technically they didn't actually get their hands dirty.
They didn't do anything. Just how to play the like.
I don't know if you saw like during the BLM riots, a lot of people were saying pallets of like a fuck ton of pallets of bricks were just showing up out of nowhere.
Bricks?
Like there was no construction or anything. There's just pallets of bricks showing up everywhere, and people were just grabbing them and throwing them just to cause chaos, just to destroy shit. There was no construction
but even though
anywhere
people were telling that
there was no construction anywhere.
Yeah.
They just literally had it accessible. So someone's there like, get your bricks.
Basically,
$5. Get your bricks.
No.
I mean, they were free. Selling them.
So this is how it is, and this is what I'm talking about.
And a lot of videos came out of people where they'd be like, well, they would call them out because there'd be like, see people like trying to incentivize people. And there was video being like, no, that's a Fed. And they would call them out, and it'd be just one guy.
It is a trap, bro.
Yeah.
And it was trapped. Like, a lot of people were like, they were trying to trap a lot of people into that shit.
Everything.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
That's why you gotta take everything that goes in the news, like with it, like what is it, like a pinch of salt, whatever it's called.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, especially now with the AI.
A grain of salt, like.
AI,
no, but this is what I was talking about.
Dude, they have these voices and shit where you can't even say anything. Like if you become so popular, they literally copy your voice, especially like analyze every single like video in a way like. Where you said every single word and how you said it and which like pitch and shit. Like it's crazy. Like they get your pitch. It's not like those videos that you hear. If you hear like Barack before, the AI is like choppy singing a song and shit. Now it's like it sounds more natural, not as choppy as those. I'm just like at those videos, and I'm just like, damn, it's crazy. Like
on the like YouTube. But going back,
and then this music that's been coming out with AI first.
But going back to like the whole bricks too, what I was trying to explain, if I can still try to remember, is this is the whole plan too, is that they set those stuff up so that what is called, like we see in social media, a lot of things get pushed on social media and doesn't even show the actual things that are happening. Because why?
They try to cause chaos.
They try to cause chaos and control it.
They don't want to show what's really happening.
So look. So what they do is they get people to actually random people to do it, and then that sometimes causes other people. No, that sometimes causes other people to do it because their emotions. If people are mad and their emotions are high, of course they're gonna start doing it. And then of course that's not the whole point. So people are gonna tell them like, yo, like don't. And when people do record those, they're gonna show that in public, like show that only on social media. So when they only show that on social media, what do you expect? Like it just causes chaos and scare, and people get mad, and then it's making us go against each other. When we shouldn't be going against each other. We should be working together and try to not divide, but like combine together to go either protest against the government or do whatever with the CIA or the people above.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that as an actual society, if ever anything does happen where like the power goes out, like I was trying to explain, that's gonna cause chaos because nobody has trust in each other.
Then explain it.
What do you mean?
About the blackout.
So our what happened in this blackout is we have, I think, 13, 14 power grids, and if only 4 of them ever get hacked or get destroyed, the whole power in the U.S. will go out.
If only 4 of them?
Yes.
Out of the 13?
Because they haven't been updated since like 50 years, 40, 30 years.
That's actually, yeah, I have heard about that because that's a thing that a lot of people criticize Biden about.
Why haven't they fucking updated?
He was a dumbass about this shit. He literally went up to Putin and he was like, so here's a list of the shit that you shouldn't attack. Because if you attack this shit, it will really fuck us over. Like, he literally went to Biden.
No way.
Dude, he got so much shit for that. He was like, yeah, so here's a list of shit that you shouldn't attack because this shit will really fuck us over. And
to
like,
who?
To Putin. He literally went to go tell him, he's like, yeah, don't attack this shit. He's like, bro, like, why the fuck would he do that?
But you know what's crazy?
And that was one of them. That was one of them. He's like, please don't attack any of your power grids.
Don't really press this red button. This will fuck us over.
Like, why the fuck would he go over to your enemy and tell you that?
Interesting. So don't push that button or else...
Like, he really thinks
you guys are
like,
gonna crumble?
Like that. Like,
you know?
You wouldn't even tell that shit to your allies, though. What the fuck? Like... I remember he got so much shit for that.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things, though.
Yeah, like-
The power grades, those are really
This really happened for real?
Like those.
But like, think about it. Now that he says that and everything like that, there's been movies about it. They've been pushing it. And what? Look,
You know what?
wait.
It's happened right
Bro,
after the gas
our
price.
president looks like a joke. It's
This happened
fucked.
right after we got hacked by the remember
That's
when
fucked.
the gas shit happened when they hacked
Yeah, the gas to
our
have.
Be that
gas?
way.
That's when it happened because Biden went over after that happened. He was like, "Yo, please don't keep attacking our important shit." And he's like, "Here's a list of all the shit that you shouldn't attack." It's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This was just last year then.
A whole list too.
It's like, bro,
This is from like the worst to like not that bad. We can manage this,
right?
but this.
If you attack this one,
This will
you'll
fuck
us
up.
up
It's
real
like
fast.
dominoes effect, bro. It goes
look,
down from
this
hills
is-
from there.
This is what I don't get either, because if that's the case too, look,
That's-
there's been a movie that
oh
came
my
out,
God.
Leave the
That's
World
crazy.
Behind,
Nah,
and pretty much what happened is the whole movie's
No
about
way.
like, it's spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but pretty much the whole movie's about like the power, like this
What
white, Leave the World Behind.
Oh yeah.
So it's about a white family that goes out, that lives in the city, went out to go on like a little vacation. Pretty much it was an Airbnb, they rented it out, and then pretty much like the internet started slowing down, and then it got fucked up. And then there's other like issues, like there's other ways where like the internet like was still somewhat working, but it was the internet didn't work no more, and the family that owned the Airbnb came in. They stayed there. He was part of like some like something that top, like, you know, if you know people up in the league, they'll tell you stuff if you're in like the military or whatever it is. But they somewhat have a little bit of knowledge of what's gonna happen. So then he stayed there. There was like a loud ass noise, like if it like your ears start ringing, like because of how loud it is. And then there's like later down, one of the dads, like the husband left. There was a plane that was dropping like paper, and it was in Arabic. And it said like something about like America and all that, whatever. And then other places like in the U.S. was the same thing, but it wasn't like in Chinese. And then other places was like in the different languages. So, and then there was a point where like the electronic or the technology was messed up, where you see all the Teslas drive into like a road. I think it was Rhode Island. So there's only one exit. So they all like got control to stop there, because that was the only exit. And like all the Teslas like pretty much stopped it. So whoever tried to leave, it blocked it. So. Like, so pretty much it was like the whole blackout, like that right there. But the people that directed it or was part of it, whatever, was Obama and Michelle Obama.
I directed the movie.
Yeah, whatever, that right there. Like, I think it was directed or like did something with the movie. Like it was them. I think it was like directed. Yeah,
Showing
with it.
Teslas doing that.
Yeah.
But that's why they want electric cars, so they can control your shit.
No bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's it's crazy, and like
It's nice. The electric car just saves. We're saying because you know, it's actually causes more harm making batteries and stuff.
Yeah.
Than it is actually using like fossil fuels.
It does.
And it's stupid.
It does.
Like, yeah, like.
And then
Like right now, it's like,
the people in
well,
Africa,
you know,
the kids that were
making
like
too much.
enslaved there.
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
use a lot of slaves to make that. That's the thing a lot of people don't want to talk about too. Is like whenever it's like something nice, like that,
It's like convenience
it's
for
always
us.
made with slaves. Like all the fucking Temu shit, that's made with slaves too. So they use slaves for that shit.
Yeah, basically,
All the convenience shit that we-
everything is so cheap because they literally pay him cents for it, and it's crazy.
Yeah, we might have outlawed child slavery or not child slavery,
I
but
feel
like child.
or just slavery in general. But,
Yeah,
but I feel like a lot of people don't really grasp the concept that like the global elites, they have no loyalty to any country. Like the whole world is their home. So like even
That's
if
true.
one country in the whole world, if one country exists that allows slavery, that's enough for them. They only need one because they can go all around the world. They have all the money they need to. That's why I feel like
they could create a base there. Like, oh,
that's
it's
what
like
I'm saying. Like, so like, okay, we'll just make everything built over there. I mean, that's basically what they're doing in China. So it's like it kind of does get to that point where it's like, just one country making it legal isn't enough. anymore.
But then that's why they're trying to push the whole global one world.
That's why they want globalization, because they want
one world order. But if it becomes a one world order, it wouldn't become for the good. It'll become for the worst.
So they can have control over everything. Because the
It'll
problem,
be fear.
That's why Putin doesn't want to do that.
Like people are just gonna like, they're not gonna willingly do that. They're just gonna be like, because like they're gonna be put in that corner and be forced to be with, just to live, because people are afraid of death.
You know what's crazy? We don't have. If we were like us, we would have to move to like an actual good spot. Just because we live in like, yeah, we don't live in the cities kind of, but we still live in like, we're a lot of like buildings. There's not as much wildlife as much as it used to because of how so many trees they've been cutting around here.
yeah.
And like, well, there's no less wildlife. Think about it. There's less food source. If anything does happen to the powers or anything goes black out, it says right there, like 90% of the United States will probably die just because of starvation, because of lack of food, chaos, and then like some other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I don't want. That's the one thing like, I would love, like, our country to come together. If that came to an extent that our country, instead of causing chaos, that our country will come together and create one, be loving to one another.
Well, you know,
the thing is,
like trade, like, do be like, hey, I got some of this, here you go, like stuff that. Like
there
that.
is gonna be people like that, but
yes.
there's not enough people like that. That's why food will go, like, we will starve before anything, because people are not just gonna go line up outside and be like, let me go in, let me get this and this, what I need, split it. Now everybody's gonna be rushing in there, trying to grab shit,
just themselves too,
and then drop stuff, literally wasting food as they try to steal food.
Yeah, everyone's just gonna be worried about themselves. That's the thing.
That's more if that's gonna be that type of fucking like vibe and live life. I want to know how to hunt. I want to know how to skin a deer or any animal perfectly. Know how to butch.
That's where your actual. That's where your survival instincts will come out.
Here's the thing:
we're not in creative mode. We're not in creative mode. We ain't survival.
We're not in creative mode, but
we're pretty much in creative mode.
But I would say
we're not at survival mode. You survival mode.
It's not hardcore mode. We're in survival mode.
Yeah, we ain't hardcore mode. We're starving.
We're in hardcore. Yeah, you're right.
We're not in starving mode where you starve and die.
We're in hard mode. That's why.
No, we're in survival mode. That would be hardcore mode.
Yeah, for real.
But
nah, we're normal.
Normal.
I think we're normal.
It's still hard. Survival.
We're not hard, but we're not like.
But yeah.
Extreme.
So anyways,
what was I gonna say?
Something about surviving.
I mean, I have my fishing stuff. I can go fishing. Fuck it, that's a lot of.
Well, like basically like survival.
Nah, but you know what? Like for survival, I feel like you don't have to know how to do everything. Like you're gonna be able to find communities. There's gonna be, because I've been watching, like, I mean, you already know I've been watching One Piece like a lot, but
I haven't.
Stop recording. But you know what's crazy, like, about that, and what I liked about it is that it's kind of similar to what's happening right now, where it's like the pirates are kind of trying to fight against the corruption of the world government.
Yeah.
And
that's what I liked about it too.
I kind of like what I found was interesting was that there was one scene where he's fighting with the drag. I fucking hate that drag queen. But that one scene where they're like, you know what? Like, even though they had nothing in common except for the fact that they were fighting against like the corrupt government, and I kind of like that idea of like we kind of have to be able to unite with like people that we might not have anything in common. Like, and it's already happening. We're already starting to see it with Christians and Muslims coming together a lot. Like, you've seen a lot of unity with Christians and Muslims, just going against like the whole pedophilia shit. And I think we need to see more of that, to be honest. Just more of like everyone that's like
more unity,
completely disagree with each other. Like, I don't mind fighting alongside the most gayest motherfucker alive, as long as we're on the same side fighting against pedophiles, right? Like, whatever you are, gay, Muslim, Jewish, black, white, Asian. I don't care what you are, as long as we're on the same team.
Hey, human. That's what I'm saying.
As long as we're on the same team, bro, that's all that matters. And I think we need more of that kind of mentality. Because
at that point, it doesn't matter.
If we picked up more of that, then I feel like we wouldn't have to resort to that, where it's like, all right, everyone It's on survival mode. We gotta go on hardcore because we can actually build a community of like, okay, we're on this team. We can help each other work together to fight the enemy, which is really, in my eyes, the enemy is really just anyone that supports the pedophiles at this point. It's just because that's really the enemy is the elites that are supporting this whole Epstein ring.
They are able to get away with things.
Yeah, that are doing this shit, and I do mean anyone that just helps and supports them. Because like I had this conversation with my mom, kind of shifting the conversation a little bit about the open border. It's like a lot of the border is like really open right now, and I had this conversation with mom. Being Mexican, it is a little complicated to be like. It makes it a little complicated to just be like, all right, fucking close off the border, because like. You do feel a little fucked up, you know, having come from illegal parents who got here illegally. So it's like, I understand that some people really are just coming here for a better life. But you also have to understand that having the border open like that has allowed anyone to just come in. On top of the fact that a lot of people are kidnapping the kids and then just putting them into this life.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the most fucked up part, where it's like, I don't care how much I agree with allowing good people that just want to better their lives into that. Like, as much as I agree with just people trying to better their lives, it can't outweigh the fact that a lot of innocent kids are getting put into this life of sexual slavery because they're getting separated from their parents trying to come in illegally, and they're just getting sold off into like this fucked up shit. And that's why it's like,
it's a trap.
I think as much as
he opened the floodgates,
and that's the thing that I hate is like that's kind of the strategy. Has a net out there and
try to catch whatever fish.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of like the strategy that they take a lot.
They try to stop the fish,
and that's one thing that pisses me off. Is like the strategy that they put a lot is like they try to convince people into thinking that they're good-hearted, because the people that support them, they think, oh, let's support people that are just trying to make a better life for themselves. Let's let illegal immigrants, right? But they don't realize that they're also allowing this to happen.
They don't see the background.
They don't see the dark side that comes with it. And I think that's the problem with a lot of it, is like people that are like anti-racism, like anti-racism. They think they're doing what's good, but like they don't realize all the bad shit.
But they don't show the actual things that are happening.
And they're just, yeah, exactly. They just manipulate them into supporting shit that's not good for them.
Barack Obama and Biden, when they kept on having the kids in the cage for a while, and then reunite them with the family for a while. That right there, that's traumatizing.
That's propaganda.
Yeah, like, bro, like, what the fuck is that?
There's over here advertising like, see, we do love people. But all right, what the fuck, you know, type shit. And so real colors.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that they trick good people into doing bad things. That's the thing that really pisses me off. It's like they're able to trick good people into doing bad things.
To get all evil.
It's always gonna be the devil's work.
Yeah.
Sprinkling on shit.
Because they like, whether you know or not, by supporting that shit, you're supporting pedophilia. You're supporting all that shit, because that's really that's the reason they're really doing that shit. Is like by supporting the border being open like that.
Basically.
That's exactly what it is. And on top of the fact that it's also drug trafficking, a lot of drugs come in through that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, for sure. And so pretty much what's happening right now is Texas is trying to cover the whole thing, and then pretty much Biden gave orders that the federals could pretty much take down the wall, like the wire gate, whatever it was.
I think they said either on Monday or Tuesday was when the time runs out. Because Joe Biden set a deadline. He said, take it down by this time. I think it was either by Monday or Tuesday. He said, take it down by this time or else. And he didn't say what was going to happen. But 25 different governors from 25 different states, Virginia included, said they're going to back Texas. Whatever happens, they're gonna back Texas.
Let's go.
So we might get into a civil war. Who knows? Like, literally this week.
And it could, like I said, it could be the people versus the people above. But the thing is, the people above have military. That's the thing. It's corrupt. A lot of things are corrupt, so we gotta watch.
That's the thing that I wish people would start changing the narrative. A lot of people are saying it's gonna be a civil war. I think we need to stop. If half the country is against you, I feel like that's more of like a revolution at that point. And like people keep saying like it's gonna be a civil war, it's gonna be a civil war. I feel like this is more of a revolution against a corrupt government.
We had a revolution before too.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like this is more of a revolution than a civil war. And I understand that there's some states that don't agree, but they're gonna have to make a decision. on this decision, and like at this point, they're gonna have to
the
decide
states, or you're gonna go with
support the states or support allowing illegal immigrants in. And if you support allowing illegal immigrants in, then you don't really support having a country, because if you don't have if you just let anyone in, then what defines you as a country? You know, like what makes you a country if anyone could just go? You're just fucking land at that point. That anyone could just enter. Like, what's the point?
We are the land of the free. Yes.
So we're basically, they want us to be property to sell off.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like, someone rich is gonna come through and just fucking buy shit from other countries.
That's actually I don't remember what country.
Imagine being bought by China or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one state. There was one state. I don't remember which one it was. But there's one state where the governor said that they were gonna stop selling property to China, because China has been buying a lot of property on the United States.
What the
and we shouldn't be doing that shit. We shouldn't be selling it to them.
We've been selling our own fucking
that's
land,
what I'm fucking saying. Like,
that means if they really want to do something, they could be like, well, I want every U.S. citizen out of there, and only country like the certain whatever country that bought us, Chinese, have the they would literally control a state.
Yeah.
And if we ever infiltrate that, we literally need to have like a whole entire border.
That's why,
because that'll be a new part of China, basically.
Because they're not buying like that, but it can get to that point. But I think they're just buying it for like business shit. But regardless, we shouldn't be selling anything to China. Like they're enemies.
It's like McDonald's. Isn't it McDonald's?
There should be like some middleman type.
They buy property. The biggest way McDonald's makes their money is by real estate.
Yeah.
So they buy property everywhere in the U.S. Like everywhere.
Yeah. So actually, that's a different topic. But yeah, I found out that McDonald's is actually a real estate company.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's actually the way that they make money. They actually rent out their property to restaurant owners. And so the restaurant, like the people that own the local restaurants, they make the money from the restaurant, but they just have to rent out the property and everything from McDonald's.
That's why when you're gonna buy,
actually a retail company.
That's why when you're gonna buy what is called the McDonald's, they buy the land and they build a McDonald's there for you, and then you start.
You have to buy like the supplies and everything from them.
And that's why Chick-fil-A was doing the same thing, because I found like
there's a McDonald's University, you know that, right?
Yeah, and that's essentially what franchises do now. Is like they'll just rent out the business name and everything.
That's smart though.
It is, and it is on their end. But you know what? It also protects them from people stealing, because they're not making their money from. They already sold you the shit.
They're like, as long as you pay me my month,
that's what I'm saying. I'm good. Like if you get if someone breaks, like same shit happens like with Walmart. Like if someone breaks into a Walmart and they steal a bunch of shit, Walmart already made their money. They sold their shit to the owner of that local Walmart.
So they
already made the money.
That's why a lot of Walmarts are shutting down.
That's why a lot of people. That's why I think it's stupid. A lot of people think, oh, well, let's go steal from a corporation because they're greedy and we should just go steal. You're actually stealing from the local owner. The corporation already got their money. If you see the product in the store, they already got their money.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to the corporation, you gotta go to the actual
headquarters. But don't steal from those. Don't steal. We're not supporting stealing.
Yeah, but like, go protest over
if they're gonna steal. If they're gonna steal.
No, not steal. But if you're gonna protest or say anything, you gotta go there.
If you're gonna steal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like protesting, like whatever, but not.
Because low-key, like that shit kind of pisses me off. Because like some people like. Stupid people, they'll be saying like, "Oh, I'll go steal from the fucking CVS." Bro. They don't deserve my money. They're a greedy corporation. You're not stealing from the corporation. They already got their money.
That's fucked.
Some of them are still there.
But they're fucking. Like,
that's the thing. That's you don't get taught that. Like, you really gotta like look this up yourself.
I feel like a lot of these people don't realize.
Bedrock, or is it Bedrock?
Yeah, BlackRock.
BlackRock. They're the ones who.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like a lot of people don't realize like these corporations.
They're the ones that like do the whole school system, like what we learned.
Oh, what we learned?
Yeah.
What the?
Of course, they're gonna teach
that deep.
That's yes.
But I feel like
they said it. It's like from 19-something.
That's exactly what I'm getting to. I feel like a lot of people.
Bro.
I feel like a lot of people don't recognize.
I feel like a lot of people don't recognize
these corporations are so many levels ahead of us. Like they think of, like they already, like whatever you think.
We're over here just scratching the water.
Like you're over here thinking you're hurting them. They already thought of that. They already planned for that shit. Whatever you're thinking, like
that's wild.
There's so many levels ahead of us, and that's why I feel like.
Have you noticed
they're not doing anything technically illegal too.
Well, that's the thing. Like there's like they have a lot of this shit so planned out where they find the loopholes.
I'm thinking about Walmart. Bedrocks, I don't know about Bedrock.
Oh no, that's not illegal either. But that's what I'm saying. Like they plan this shit out so well, where it's like they already have everything planned out so well. There's just like whatever you think that you can, like whatever way you think that you can hurt them, they've already thought about that because they have so many lawyers that literally dedicate their time to doing that shit.
They got probably pay millions just to be like, yo, your job is to literally make sure I don't get in trouble.
I mean, literally, think about it this way.
That lawyer right there in the video.
Look at how much money they spend on psychologists. Like, they spend money on ridiculous shit just to really be the top of the top. Like, literally, McDonald's, they study the fact that, like, red and yellow, those colors make you hungry. Like,
really?
they know that. Like,
and
that's why those are their logo. That's why those are their
like colors.
Their
that's why that's exactly what he said, especially with
like
numerology,
out of everything,
numerology, that kind of stuff.
They probably incorporate that shit. They're just not as open about it. They probably incorporate all of that shit too into their prices, into everything. Like I'm telling you, like these people have
we've been programmed out. We've been programmed.
Yeah, we have.
They got everything planned out, and it's just like I feel like a lot of us don't realize just how much planning goes into a lot of this shit,
dude. That's how I don't know. Technology is advancing and it's great.
To someone that's like working a normal 9 to 5 job, that shit sounds crazy because we don't have the time to plan this shit. So for us, it's like, who the fuck has time for this shit? We're over here working every day. This is their job though. Like this is their job to plan this shit. So like to us, it seems like some crazy shit. Like, oh, nobody has time for this shit. When it's your job, that you have all the fucking time in the world.
Yeah.
When you're getting paid to do that shit.
Facts.
And that's why I feel like it's hard to get people to believe these conspiracy theories, which I feel like they're not even theories at this point. Like a lot of this,
we always say conspiracy theories.
Like a lot of this, we just know is true.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's hard to get people to believe this shit because of that, because people can't grasp around like. It's like once I feel like, and I'm not acting like I'm in that position, but I think once people reach these higher levels of power, I feel like they have a completely different way of thinking than we do.
They feel like they're different, like they're gods.
Yeah, like they just think completely different.
Because they feel like they have so much power.
And I can't, like I said, I've never been in that position, so I can't explain. But like whenever shit happens, like whenever shit changes for me, like whenever shit changes for me, I know my mindset changes to convey whatever situation I'm in my life. I know my mindset changes. So it's like depending like where you're at in life, you know that for a fact. So just imagine you're in that position where like the Rothschilds, they've literally, fucking Biden did it just recently. People are able to fund both sides of a war. You're literally paying 2 different countries to fight each other. You have that much fucking money. That's what Biden did with Russia and Ukraine right now. Yeah. We're funding both sides of the war right now.
Are you serious?
Deadass.
But we're funding Russia?
Yeah.
What the
Bro, we're funding both sides of the fucking war right now.
Huh. That's some ignorant shit.
Bro, that shit's ridiculous. Because we're funding I think Iran, right?
Oh, this one's about to win. Let's send this one.
No, I don't know if we are anymore.
Well, we were. I don't know if we're still funding both sides. But the point is, like,
it's like someone in the U.S. is like, who's your team?
Oh yeah, Iran.
But the point, yeah. But the Rothschilds have also. But like,
that's fucking.
I feel like for us, like, we can't even grasp like what kind of mindset that would put you in when you have that much power. Whereas you could just do whatever the fuck you want at that, but you don't even understand. Like I feel like we can't even grasp how we would act. How would we react?
I lied. They're creative. They're creative mode.
Kids and shit.
They're creative mode.
They're in creative mode, bro.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like for us, like a normal human being, we can never understand what the fuck, like what kind of position they're in, and for us to sit and be like, well, they would never plan shit like that. You don't know that. They have all the fucking free time in the world.
Exactly.
But you know what's so crazy?
They're seeing all types of different information too. They have access to different information that we don't.
You know what's crazy? Back in like 1910, like 1910 or the late 1800s, they got rid of all that. They banned it and like did it and like they pretty much made sure that it didn't want to happen. But now in 2010, like in the early 2000s, 1999s and all that, they bring it back. They bring it back and they write it like the government or whatever, they put it in like law where it pretty much benefits them where they can do this now where they can do that now.
This everything is just so wild that You can be doing so good, and anything can just change because someone in control wants to change it.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
wild.
You can, but that's why I feel like I always have faith in God. I mean, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow because tomorrow worries for itself.
Mm-hmm.
That goes in like Matthew
We work.
Matthew 6 something, I think. I don't know.
We work on them now, not from the then. Or
Just worry what's happening right now. Always like I say, I always get close to God, and then like try to become a better person and try to spread positivity.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
love your
that's
neighbors how like you love yourself.
That's good.
Treat other people right.
Yeah. Even if they don't teach you right, I mean, you have to teach them wrong.
Forgive those who hurt you, or forgive those whatever, because them saying it's like pretty much saying you forgiving them gives like why God will be able to. If you're willing to forgive, God will forgive you. But if you're not willing to forgive others, first it hurts you, and God, why would God forgive you if you're not willing to forgive others? God is a forgiving God. Like Jesus is a forgiving God, or like God is a forgiving God, but if you don't go His ways, like why Him show those on you?
Yeah.
And there's other things too, especially like I found out that if you go like if you don't, it's like there's a prayer, I don't know it by heart, which I'm trying to learn. It's Padre Nuestro, but in English. But pretty much forget your debtors if you. I just went into like a whole Bible things, but
We do need to get closer to God for sure.
yeah.
With everything that's happening.
I just know that.
But yeah, now that I unmuted my mic,
We're back.
listeners should get closer to God for sure. With everything that's happening.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what God. I'm not saying you gotta be Catholic, you gotta be religious, you gotta be Christian. If you're Muslim, get closer to your God. As long as, I think the morals matter more than anything. Like as long as we're agreeing on our morals, which is like not being pedophiles, basically. It's like I said, like I like the idea of unity, of being able to be like, okay, like as long as we're on the same team. So that's really what matters more to me. But I realize religion does help with that, help put you on the same team. Because I notice any religion, by the way, like Jewish people, Muslims, I notice like the more religious people are the ones that are like more more supportive of like fighting against this corruption and all this shit. Not that there aren't, atheists that support us, but I'm sure there are. But I noticed it's mostly a lot of religious people that are realizing that the government is really corrupt right now. And that, in my personal opinion, at least from what I've seen. So I've seen a lot of people that are just like, because, like I said, in every religion, I've seen a lot of Muslim people coming out and talking about, all the corruption. I've seen like a lot of Christian people, and I've seen a lot of Jews. It's just like, speaking of Jews, have you guys seen the shit that happened in New York? They saw the tunnels.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I saw a guy on Instagram where a guy tweeted, "Yo, I feel like there's people building shit where here's stuff under my basement." And then people were like, "Yo, you're crazy. I don't know, like you're delusional and all that."
And the church?
No.
Yeah,
is it church?
It's a synagogue. We call it a synagogue, but yeah, it's a religious temple.
So pretty much later, when they found out now, he goes back, tweets it, like retweets his, like, see, I told you guys.
He probably was actually hearing them, to be honest. But there's a guy here under his apartment. He was hearing Jewish, like, he was hearing, I think, Hebrew, or there's another language that they speak. But he was hearing them like speaking their language under his house, and he lives on the ground floor. And he tweeted about it, and everyone thought he was crazy. And then later it comes out that there was actually tunnels under.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
But you know what's
crazy, bro.
But you know what's crazy is that in those tunnels they found old, used up kids' mattresses, and a lot of people are linking those tunnels to Epstein. because Epstein also had a place in New York, and so people are thinking like they might have been related.
Oh.
And I think there might be some truth to it. I know it's like you're not supposed to accuse the Jews of doing anything wrong on the internet.
Why?
Because you get fucking canceled right away.
Really?
Why do you think Kanye West got canceled? You're not allowed to insult the Jews online. But
they own Disney.
They own a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
They got power.
I was gonna say we talked about this in another podcast. It's because they're very close to like community net, and so they help each other out a lot. Like it's almost kind of like a sense of nepotism, but not directly. Whereas like they will help other Jews out.
I got canceled.
But right, I mean maybe we probably will get canceled for this whole episode. Hell yeah.
Say that. No.
But the point I was making is like, call me anti-Semitic, but like knowing how the Freemasons operate, it's not too far-fetched to think that there are Freemasons operating at the top of Jewish religion. I mean, I know it's happening with Christian religion too.
Or Catholic.
Yeah, with the Catholic
The
religion.
Pope.
Like I'm fully admitting like the Freemasons have worked their way into like the higher ranks in our own church. It's not too far-fetched to say they've done the same shit for the Jews and for the Muslims, for that matter. To be honest,
I mean, that's how it was back then in like what is called when Jesus was alive. They prophesied other things.
That's why, yeah. I mean, that's why Jesus said to have a direct connection with God.
He doesn't. God even himself, Jesus, where I think Jesus himself said he doesn't like religion for that same reason.
And it's the
Follow
same.
God.
I had this exact same conversation with my
religion.
mom just this morning, where I was like, I told her like I've started reading the Bible again, and like, I'm gonna read it from beginning to end because I realized I can't trust people's interpretations.
I'll say this: start from the New Testimony first, Matthew, Luke, and Mark, and then from there you should go from whatever.
Well,
That's what I'm doing right now. And I recommend doing that. That's what I've heard. The recommendation and it actually helped.
I don't care. I'm reading it all. I'm gonna read it multiple times. I found an app that does like audiobook.
Yeah,
I love that shit. I love that.
I have a book.
They'll literally read it to you.
Which one do you have?
King James.
King James. So I found out King James is missing 7 books.
Oh, I know, I'm hip, but
My mom's gonna give me the book that she has, but in
I think it's good to have multiple versions, regardless. But the point is, you have to read it yourself, because otherwise, I realize you're just trusting other people's interpretations. And what I've learned what I've learned from everyone, it's not even that. Is that some people twist that shit. Sometimes they'll use just a part of a verse, like they'll just use one verse from a whole chapter, and they'll be like, "Oh, see, this proves my point." But then you actually read the whole chapter, and it's like, nope, it's actually saying the exact opposite if you read the whole thing.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to like really read what's really going on, because a lot of people will try to use the Bible to prove a point, but they cut out the parts that don't actually support their point. And so it's like you actually have to know like what's going on, like really read that shit for yourself. That's what I realized. And it's like, it's boring. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to understand that shit. Like the language they be using sometimes.
What you can use is, I found another one. It's called NIV. It's the same thing as the King James, but like kind of like
It's like more modern.
Yeah.
Version. Yeah. The problem I had with that, and even with the King James version, is like when you trust people too much to modernize it, they're also putting in their own interpretations into it.
But that's why when you read, you have King James and you have that one. So when you read that, you go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even King James. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
Even King James is already like a more modernized version.
That's why I think my mom told me. Like I don't know if the Catholic one is different than King James, and because that one has all the books.
Well, I feel like none of them have all of them.
Yeah,
Because even that one doesn't have like people have said like the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah,
the Dead Sea Scrolls are actually are supposed to be part of the Bible too. So it's like, I feel like none of the like full Bibles are gonna have every single book, but I feel like that you're focusing on like little details at that point too. It's like as long as you're getting like
that's why I said like the New Testament, because then you get to know more.
Because I feel like each book has its own lesson. So it's like you might be missing a few lessons, which is like, don't get me wrong, they might be important, because like it's better, like some of it's better than nothing, which is the way I'm looking at it right now. That's the reason I want to get through the King James version, and then I'll probably get through other versions too. But the way I'm seeing it is like something is better than nothing right now. It's better to just get started on this, which is I think King James version is the easiest one to understand right now. And then once you get, because it's
a sound.
You have to understand the language. That's the thing I hate about that shit.
Yeah.
You have to understand the language of the
But
Bible.
I'll say this: if you ask God for guidance, He will help you to read.
And it's practice too. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I started with this easier one. And then because like you said, they'll say like thee, thou, and it's just the way the word the word things. They'll be like, instead of saying like someone lived for 100 years, they'll be like 100 years was his age or something. So they just make it like really more confusing than it has to be.
The David, the father of Andrew.
And they'll be like, and 867 was his days. And it's like that's how much he lived. That's how long he lived. We'll be like, how many days he lived or something. I don't know. It's just like they just like word things weird. But like once you read
years.
through it, yeah, it'll be like years. Yeah, it says years.
Years.
It'll be like Emily is like, but the point is like they just word things really weird. And they'll be like, instead of saying like this was his son, they'll be like, Mary was of John.
Yeah. Well,
instead of being like that was his son, they'll be like, he was of him. It's like, bro, it's just like weird things like that. It's just it makes things confusing.
That's why I think I think INIV might explain it better. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. So. But
yeah, like once you start getting used to the language, it gets a lot easier to understand it.
Yeah,
and I think the audiobook helps a lot too. Like when they're reading it to you.
You're like, all right.
Yeah, but I like to have the book. I like having the book and reading it in the book.
But I'm not gonna lie. One thing that still to this day stands out to me, because I've read it multiple times now, is in the book of Genesis, the Cain and Abel story. Are you guys familiar with Cain and Abel?
Look, I have it right here.
So basically, Cain and Abel they were the sons of Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so Cain grew up to become a farmer. Well, I guess they both grew up to be farmers, basically, but different types of farmers. Cain grew up to be like a plant farmer. Like he would plant and he would till the land, and he would harvest. And then Abel became an animal farmer. He would raise animals, and so once they both started getting their first
I can't find it.
They first started getting their first results of their farming. Abel sacrificed his first cattle, and he offered it to God. And Cain offered his fruit because he didn't have animals. And God didn't like Cain's offering, but he liked Abel's.
Which one was Cain's?
Cain was the one offering fruit.
Okay.
Abel was the one offering his cattle.
Okay.
Cain didn't like Abel's or Cain's.
So God didn't
like Cain's offering, and that's when Cain got jealous and he killed Abel. And to me, I never really understood why God didn't really accept his offering. And I looked into it, and from what I saw, some people were saying it's because there are three reasons people were saying. One reason was saying that God wants a blood sacrifice. So they're saying it's because it was an actual sacrifice. Like giving him fruit wasn't a real sacrifice. Which I kind of understand because it's not as hard to give up fruit as it is to give up a real life.
Like a whole life. It's definitely a bigger sacrifice for sure. So I can understand that.
I have my own theory.
The other one was that it was bad quality. Stop recording again. It was the quality of the sacrifice that God didn't like. So if you actually read the verse for
Abel's sacrifice, it says he was the firstborn cattle and he was a fat cattle. Whereas for Cain's, it just said it was just like fruit. So we don't know if he gave him like the best quality of his fruit or if he just gave him just like whatever. So that's what some people were saying. It was like maybe it's like Abel gave him like the best of his cattle, and Cain was just giving him just like leftovers or whatever. That's another reason people were saying maybe God didn't like his sacrifice. Third reason he was saying was maybe it was the intention behind the sacrifice itself, or like the offering. So it was like maybe Cain didn't actually have like pure intention. It was like he was kind of just like offering just to offer. Whereas like Abel was actually being
grateful about it. He was actually doing it in a sense of like gratitude, where he's like, here you go, I'm grateful to you. And Cain was kind of just doing it because he was, I guess, jealous of Cain or of Abel. He was like, okay, I guess I'll offer you something too. It doesn't get too much into detail.
But I was thinking I have another thing. What if it was saying like with the fruit that he got with Cain? Because technically they're brothers. Brothers, they're supposed to be there for one another. So what if, because maybe God wanted them to work together, where he got the plant, he got the calf. Maybe he traded some plants for a calf, and then he could have either kept that and sacrificed that, or like some situation of them working together. Or no? What do you think?
I think it might be a combination of the first one and the third one. The second one, I feel like it feels a bit like a stretch, to be honest, about the quality. Maybe that's the case too, but I think it might be a combination of the first and second, whereas like Cain came in with like this jealousy already, where he's like, okay, God really likes Abel's offering. And he was like, do you like mine too? He kind of just like came in with it. That's my interpretation. Is like maybe he came in with that jealousy already, where he's like, here's my thing too. It's like, I have an offering too. Or maybe like they're saying is maybe God just didn't like that it was not a blood sacrifice. But I don't think God is that type of God, where it's like he needs blood.
I feel like it was the intentions behind it.
I think so too.
But that's how it usually is with God. Like, it's the intentions behind things. Because if you're going with it just because you saw someone else do it, you gotta come with it to the intentions like, hey God,
so I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. You gotta come with it's
about that gratitude. Okay, I love you, so I want to give this to you, as opposed to just being, oh, is that what we're doing? We're doing offerings. Here, I got something for you too. Because I feel like it might have been that mentality that like got him. And also, we don't know the quantity too. It could have just been like he gave him like a couple of fruits, where it's like
it could have been his first whole batch.
Yeah, or it could have been like I think maybe there's a combination of the three. I don't know. Maybe it might be 2 and 3 more than anything. I don't think it had anything to do with the blood though.
Yeah.
So I feel like personally, it doesn't make sense.
God already knew
for God. Like, a sacrifice is a sacrifice. Like, he put in the work to grow in the fruit and all that. Like, it might have not been a blood sacrifice, but he put in the work. Like, that's a work sacrifice. Like, he put in his time. He sacrificed his time to grow. I feel like it. I don't know. I just don't see God caring that much about like you need to shed blood for me. I feel like if you offer fruit to him, you offer something. It's just more the intentions in my mind. Yeah. What do you think, brother?
You're over here staying quiet. He's just zoning out.
I feel like
yeah, I told you.
After this, I would say this.
Basically saying like he don't need blood or sacrifice for all the things that he's done. But at least blood related.
I think
you said work related. He has to sacrifice on that aspect. Right?
I'm not gonna say it's entirely like there is something to blood sacrifice. I will say that. Because that is the reason why he sent Jesus down to die and shed blood. Yeah, he sacrifices Jesus for this. And there's some spirituality to sacrificing and shedding blood, like you do. And I think there was another verse that it actually talks about where it says like you actually do like by actually shedding blood, you can actually relieve yourself of some sin.
Really, if you cut yourself in like
not like that, but like like actually like go through like real punishment, like actually like atone for your sin, like actually face the punishment that you deserve.
That one episode of George Lopez.
Where he's whipping himself.
No, when Mr. Needles
he
gets sick and shit. He's just like, I'll walk on my knees up this trail.
That's something else though. It's not him atoning to his sins.
That was him making a promise so that he can save the dog.
So is it kind of like that concept though?
Yeah, it can be. It can. I mean, like.
But yeah.
More deeper.
Yeah.
Well, I think there is some spiritual. I think there's definitely a spiritual connection to like shedding blood and like sacrifice. Like there's some. I think there's a reason why every ritual
What would
includes
be a
blood
great
like that.
sacrifice to be considered a noble sacrifice?
Well,
Or like a noble blood sacrifice.
Yeah,
A lamb?
what would be noble? What would be a noble sacrifice?
A lamb, maybe. But I
To a
mean,
regular
Jesus
sacrifice.
was that. To be honest, Jesus was a blood sacrifice that God sent to save humans. But also there, I don't remember what story it was, but I think in the Bible too, there's this one story where God asked a guy, one of his followers, he says, "Sacrifice your son to prove your loyalty to me." And he's like, "Okay, I'll do it." And right before he does it, he's like, "Don't actually do it. I was just testing your loyalty." So like he like makes him do it like up until the point where he like decides to do it, and then he stops and says, "Okay, don't do it." So I was just checking if
I
you
feel
do
like
it.
that's
I
what
was
just
I
checking if you do it.
Damn, you crazy.
And that's what I think is, like, it comes
I
down
need
to
you.
like that. I feel like that's what it comes down to, the attention. Like if it's
Yeah, I feel like it really does come down to like how much are you like really down for God. I think it really does come down to that too. It's like, are you really down to sacrifice everything for God? Like I feel like that really is what it comes down
Like
to.
you have to be serious, basically.
Yeah, like basically he's like, how
this ain't no
serious are
joke,
you?
bro.
It's like, how serious are you about this?
I ain't know like, oh, you preach about me all the time. Like I'm serious. This is
Yeah.
a real deal.
He's like, basically I feel like he wants
This
to
ain't no
know
video
that
game.
you're like for real, you're serious about this. That's crazy to think about though.
Imagine that someone telling you go kill your mom. See if
It's
you're
like,
that loyal.
you know what I think about though, like, cause you know
Crazy.
what a lot of people say is like the devil, he takes a lot of things from God and he corrupts them. So he'll take the same concepts, but he'll just use it for his own evil.
He'll give you money.
And like
fame,
I feel like he does the
in
same
return,
shit. He does the same
basically.
shit. I feel like a lot of people
for
will get fame
sacrifices and
Yeah.
and
everything.
they'll kill their best friend or some
Yeah,
shit.
I was about to say that like
And that shit reminds me of fucking
close,
Itachi, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
for the shotgun gun.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch your best friend die so you can get your shotgun gun.
Yeah, basically you gotta tell something traumatizing.
And I feel like, look, to be honest, I feel like there's a lot of Illuminati shit in the Naruto show. Like, there's a lot of, I love that show. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of hidden stuff in there. But yeah, I mean One Piece too. To be honest,
Everything, man.
most mainstream things like if it's
It's mostly like anime.
Yeah,
not
I mean,
most
it's always,
anime,
it's
a lot of
always,
things.
if
It's
you
like
notice,
like the horror,
you notice
like
it's always like the demons versus angels.
Yeah.
In the anime.
it
Yeah,
is.
That's some kind of aspect. Like it's either like demons or souls or evil, like energy. Like it's some type of evil.
yeah.
And then the main character gets
You know what's
control of
weird?
that evil, and then that evil becomes good.
That's actually what I was gonna get at is, and especially if you see the newer shows that are coming out, I feel like they're slowly trying to convince people that evil is good.
Yeah. Like,
Slowly.
dude, the reason why I'm saying
For
that,
which ones?
that's because what's
Red
it called?
Dead coming
Tekken
up?
8, bro. Spoiler alert.
I haven't played it.
Spoiler alert. I don't know if you guys want to know or not.
I'm telling you, they're slowly trying to
But
convince
do you guys
people.
care?
Okay.
Go ahead, see.
But you know how in Jin, he turns into a devil, right? He's Devil Jin. And in this movie, in this game, in the last game, he fights his dad. I'm pretty sure his dad, Kazuya, which is like basically a full-fledged devil. And then Jin is a devil, but he only has one wing.
Uh-huh.
But then he unlocks his mom's power or some other power, and then he ends up becoming an angel.
But I'm telling you,
His mom's
I'm
power.
telling you, they're
Yes,
actually trying to
yes,
push
so
this shit
then
because I just
Jin
saw.
became from like known as the Devil Jin to now Angel Jin,
You think that could be what?
taking out the evil.
Do you think that this is what could happen to Black Clover?
Yeah.
But I'm
You
telling
saw
you,
that?
like
The movie?
it's slowly happening. Whereas like
Uh,
they keep trying to push in like newer shows, whereas like they're trying to convince people that evil is good. Because I feel like growing up with the shows that we saw, it was already like the idea.
Naruto is basically
That's what I'm saying. Like the idea
fucking-
was already getting put in there. Like Naruto, he's like, oh, he's using his
Fox.
demon for good, but it's a demon, but he's using it for good. And I feel like we've slowly been getting that idea pushed into us, where it's like demons are good, demons are good.
Same thing with the seven deadly
And then,
sins.
The newer show-
and then sometimes you see that angels are evil in the anime.
Yeah.
That like they were trying to show that they're
There's a
overpowered
new
and
show that came
and they're
out.
saying like
That-
I don't know if you've seen the Rising of the Shield Hero, but there's some like gods that like try to be powerful and shit. And there's others.
That might be the show I'm talking about, but there's a new animated show where it's basically like that, where it's like God created the world, but he was being greedy with all his power. And it shows like the demons actually like he's trying to share power with everyone, and like the whole show is like basically trying to paint like the devil as the good guy, and that's just one show. There's another show called The Has Been Hotel. Apparently it started on YouTube and now it's on. It might be the same show, I don't know, but there's but I recently heard about it. I was watching it earlier today, or not that show, but I was watching a commentary about it, and they're talking about how basically it's a hotel that's in hell, and they try to like talk about like, oh, like we're good guys over there, we're just trying to make people change better and make bad people good, and it's just like little things like that, and I feel like slowly they're gonna keep pushing that shit more and more, where it's like 10, 20 years from now we're just gonna straight up see like, oh, demons are the good guys. I feel like we're gonna start seeing that shit later on the shows, where it's like demons are straight up the good guys.
Well, it's like seeing Shishigamaki, what is it called? From Death Note and shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna be seeing them monsters and shit. Oh,
I don't know, man. That shit, it's
so
weird, but it's like once you like
people
notice
dying.
like once you notice like the agendas that they're pushing, you just see it everywhere.
Yeah, dude, there's evil everywhere.
Yeah, and like
it's easy to.
And it's not even in shows actually.
Especially with fucking technology, bro.
Not even in shows. I mean,
spiritual.
that one Doja Cat, where it's like they're
war.
Promoting it, where it's like, oh, she's literally singing like, oh, she's the devil, and it's like this whole song where it's like making it sound like it's a good thing to be the devil.
Yeah, and then, like what's it called? And if you notice,
people are singing it all happy, like, oh, she's a rebel. Look at her, she's badass.
Yeah, then what's it called? There's pictures on Instagram about it and everything, but like she was typing this saying that it was a joke.
Her, yeah.
But
bro, there's too many people doing it. Her, Little Nas X,
mocking Jesus.
Everyone's doing it for it to just be a joke. Like, there's too many people doing it.
Spiritual war right now.
It is 100%.
And then after the spiritual war, we're gonna be so exhausted that the AI is gonna start fucking.
They're part of the war, bro.
On us afterwards.
The AI is part of the spiritual.
Dude, like literally, like everything is crazy. Like how technology is advancing as well, and everything can be.
AI is a big.
We're talking about AI too. The AI is.
Anything been taken out. Like imagine that you can. I was talking about this earlier. Was it today? It's yesterday with a friend William basically. And we were talking about like how everything like could happen, bro. Like they could just hack our shit and
like
you know do with that movie like you said, like, you know, block exits and shit, have like already things under control, like so many things in the house already.
And you know what's scary too is like
Bluetooth, Wi-Fi.
Make a noise.
Like noises. Yeah, they can make you go deaf. Like cars nowadays, if they're automatic, they can make you crash and shit. Fucking everything go shut down, and this is wild.
Yeah, and I was also talking.
iRobot shit.
I was also talking about this with my mom. Is like now with AI, is like you can't trust anything.
Yeah,
like,
you can talk to Alexa. Alexa knows everything about you.
Because this shit was happening like a few years back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember.
What was that?
I don't know if you guys remember, but when all the fucking impeachment trials were going on with Donald Trump, a lot of the fake pictures and videos started coming out of Trump getting arrested. I don't know if you guys ever saw those. You probably saw them, right? Where is it pictures and videos of Trump getting arrested? That never happened. That never happened, bro. That was AI. AI made fake videos, and you could tell they were bad quality. But that's now.
That was the introduction of it.
Like a few years from now, that's just gonna be so good. You're not even gonna be able to tell.
Did you hear about the whole Taylor
Yeah, that's what I was
Swift?
telling you. That's what I was telling you about too.
Taylor
Like about
Swift?
the
She got. I think they posted fake nudes of her.
That's actually I've seen the technology because I watch journalists, like investigative journalists. That shit's accurate as fuck.
Really?
Because they did that shit. I think it was like with an OnlyFans model, where it's like she already had nudes, so they tested it.
With her clothes on, I'm guessing.
Bro, that shit's accurate as fuck. It will straight up make them naked, and that's scary technology to have.
Don't you think just because there's already pictures of her online that they...
It doesn't reference that though. What it does is literally just looks at the actual picture, because it doesn't matter what. If you have pictures,
and imagine
it's about the light. It's about like when I say it's accurate.
Ideas,
when I say it's accurate, it means like it literally looks like the lighting in the same room. Like it literally looks
shadow and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's accurate as fuck, and like that shit legit looks like it's right there.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And that's scary as fuck technology to know that it exists. To be honest.
I feel like it's been out for a while.
It's been out for a while, but it's gonna become more and more accessible. You could literally look that shit up now on Google.
If I'm gonna be honest, there was a podcast I was listening to.
Anyone could use that shit right now. That's a scary thing.
Yeah, there was a podcast that I was listening to just because Patty put it was like a TikToker, like on a podcast with another like YouTuber TikToker. And pretty much she had like a lawyer or someone that was trying to threaten her, saying that if you don't do this or that, I'm gonna post pictures of you because they use the AI with like of her naked.
Yep.
But she already posted the pictures of herself already like that. But like if you don't do it, then I have this. And they ended up posting it still, and then people thought it was real. But the people that didn't know her knew it was fake because the pictures of that she already has was already posted.
AI is gonna become a shit show.
Basically, it didn't look the same as the actual picture, basically.
Maybe it did. I don't know. I didn't.
Well, everyone knew it was fake because the original picture. You can see the original picture with clothes on still.
That's just wild.
But yeah, I don't know.
Going back to the
Technology's
whole
advancing.
Texas and border, did you know they're coming out with a movie called Civil War in April?
I'm about to watch that shit.
It looks like a good movie
I
too.
think that seems like propaganda. Because
But think about it,
because
that's
think
what I'm
about the
saying,
timing.
it's funding the war.
Think about the timing, bro. You telling me they already had that shit recorded?
That's what I'm saying.
ready?
The Back on Earth. I mean, Leave the World Behind from Obama and all that, and then they're coming out with the Civil
That shit
War.
seems like propaganda straight up because
It's not
ain't
Civil
no
War.
ain't no
It's a
way
revolution.
ain't no way they already had that shit recorded and they saw this. Like I know people have been talking about a civil war, but like the fucking timing, that shit's
In
ridiculous.
April?
That shit's ridiculous, bro.
Yo,
When is the election? This
let's
year?
pull this out of
At the end
our
of the-
shelf.
But I'm telling you, they had this shit ready.
Because
They
look,
had
think
this
about
shit
it.
ready.
If anything happens during this year before election,
That's sketchy as fuck timing to me.
It pushes off the election and keeps Biden.
What a coincidence that
Biden as president.
we're really in this situation right now where we might have a civil war, and it just so happens to be when the movie's gonna come out. That's to me that feels like propaganda. Like
I
they're
feel
just,
like it'll be more of
I
a
feel like they're-
revolution, like you said.
I feel like they're really trying to stir the pot. I feel like they're putting that shit out so people see that oh shit, this is serious. Like there might actually be a civil war. I feel like they're trying to make the civil war. They're trying to create it. I feel like, in my mind, because if you actually go out and talk to like most people are not as tense as it seems online.
Yeah.
And I know it's because we stay in our area technically, but I feel like even if we went out to like New York and we or other more Democrat places, I think we could find people, we could talk to them and rationalize with them in a way that I feel like they try to make it seem like you can't online. They try to make it seem like everyone hates you online. It was like, if you're a racist. If you disagree with us, you're racist, and if you're racist, you're a terrible person. But it's like most people don't actually think that way, and even the
The
people
only people that
do
think that way is the people that go to college, colleges.
And yeah, but even then, it's like if you actually sit down and talk to them, it's like a
Talk
lot
about
of those people is like they just haven't actually had these conversations to rationalize
exactly.
it. So it's like they're just saying what they've been told to say. Because like I've realized that with a lot of people that think like, oh, Donald Trump is racist. Donald Trump is racist. And you ask them like, what about him is racist? Then a lot of the times they don't have. They're just repeating what people have told them.
He hates black people. He hates Mexicans.
That's what I hear all the time. So
Exactly. It's like, what makes you think he hates Mexicans? Or he's trying to build a border? Yeah, well, if you actually sit down and listen to why that might actually help Mexicans, because a lot of Mexican kids are getting pulled into sexual trafficking because of that. It's like, maybe he doesn't actually hate Mexicans. Maybe he's actually trying to protect them. It's like, you actually sit down and talk to them. It's like, they don't actually know the full story. They just hear, and this is one thing I've noticed, a lot of liberals, yeah, they're yappers. A lot of liberals aren't political. They actually don't follow politics. And that's what I've realized. It's like, the big difference between Republicans and Democrats is that more Republicans are actually keeping up with politics more, whereas like Democrats, they just get their politics from social media. They'll just be scrolling to Twitter and it's like, okay, well this person says that Trump just said this, so I guess that's true. Whereas like I've noticed more people that actually get involved in actually reading the bills directly, reading what each
Bill says, reading what's actually going on with the news and actually trying to keep up with politics, I realize those people are more Republican leaning, at least nowadays, because everything's been shifting. I mean, literally anyone that pays attention to the news nowadays has seen all the LGBT propaganda that the Democrats have been pushing, to the point where like, you know what a map is?
Yeah.
No, not like the map that you're thinking, like for navigation, like MAP. It's a acronym. Have you heard it? They're trying to normalize pedophilia, bro. They're calling it, instead of calling them pedophiles now, they're calling them minor attracted people.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to make it normal.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm telling you, this is shit Democrats are trying to push.
Yeah.
Most people don't follow that shit though. Most people don't keep up with politics.
About that, no.
So that's why a lot of people support Democrat policies, because they don't actually keep up with all the shit that they're trying to push. I'm telling you, people that actually pay attention to politics, most people are actually more Republican leaning, because Republicans, even though a lot of them lie too, we're not pushing all this bullshit where we're trying to normalize all this weird pedophilia shit.
That's
I
what the
I did hear about that. I forgot about that.
They're pushing that shit. They're trying to push LGBT acceptance into schools, which, again, I'm not against gay kids. Like, if you're a little kid, sometimes you can tell, bro. Sometimes a little kid will be like 5 years old and you're like, okay, that kid's gonna grow up gay. Sometimes you can fucking tell. But that doesn't mean you have to tell them that they're gay. Because once you explain to them that, then you have to explain to them, oh, it's about sexuality. And once you explain sexuality to the kids, I feel like that's where you start leading them onto a path where they are more likely to encounter pedophiles.
Yep.
And that's happened. Whereas like a lot of these kids, where they'll end up on like LGBT forums, where it's like, oh, I feel free to express myself over here because nobody thinks, say, I'm gay. I was like, and I feel like nobody. And here's the thing: is like, I think we should be accepting of gay. Like, if a little kid acts gay, and it's like as long as he's still being a little kid, I think we should be accepting of that 100%. But when we start pushing them onto and we start telling them, I think that's the thing, is like, you don't gotta tell them that they're gay. It's like, just let them think they're
still
different.
too young.
Just let them think they're different. Everyone can be a little weird. It's like, you're a little different. That's it. You don't have to explain. You don't have to get them into all of that shit, because I feel like that's when they start like looking into it, and they feel outcasted, and there's like.
Look, yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. Like, if I have a kid that like to put.
It is scary. It is scary, to be honest, because there's a lot of brainwashing going on, and you see it in. There was a going back to Steven Crowder. Another investigation he had done was he spoke to executives at. Well, he didn't, but he had undercover journalists that would go talk to executives at Pornhub. And the executive at Pornhub admitted that they're trying to push transgender porn onto people. So even if you're a straight guy, even if you watch normal straight porn, they'll recommend a lot of trans porn to you.
What the?
And they're trying to just push that shit onto you. They'll, as soon as you load up Pornhub, first few videos will be transgender shit. And that's shit that they've admitted to. So they've admitted, the executives have admitted
that I have an ID now.
The type of shit, the type of porn that they push onto you influences the type of person that you are, right? The type of shit that you're into, right? So a lot of people have been linking pedophilia to porn addiction, right? People say if you watch too much porn, you could end up in this state of pedophilia, because it's like just it's not good enough for you, and it desensitizes you. And part of me questions is like, if maybe there are some websites where porn executives are actually trying to push that pedophilia shit, and they're trying to create that market.
There has been supposedly like videos of like 14-year-olds or like teenagers. And on Pornhub, but like. And
here's the thing: executives at Pornhub have said that they don't verify it for ages of uploaders. They've come out and they've admitted that, and they're like, yeah, we don't actually verify the ages of people that upload. And on top of that, one of the executives had said that female porn stars. Well, this is what they admitted to. It's probably male porn stars too, but they were saying the female porn stars, they prefer the younger looking porn stars. So whenever they have a female porn star, she always wants to have sex with the porn stars, the male porn stars that look like they're minors. They might not be minors. At least they didn't admit to doing anything with minors, but in the interview. But they were saying they prefer porn stars that look like they're minors. They prefer like the younger ones, and they were talking about how like they push that type of shit, where it's like the younger people, and they'll like push like teenager sex, was like they're having sex
like
with teenagers and
and
shit. Yeah, it's like, oh, this motherfucker playing like dude having sex with his mom or whatever. And they're like trying to push all this like really nasty degenerate shit.
No, technically it's all acting, but it's like
it's all acting. But that's on Pornhub. I feel like you have to.
Not be acting.
I feel like
you don't know the
also,
anymore at that point.
and this is all alleged. I don't want any lawyers coming after me. But
most
also
of it
keep
you
in
can tell
mind.
it's acting.
Yeah. Also keep in mind, Pornhub is just the main website.
There's
They own so many different porn websites, and they're all owned by the same company.
Oh really?
Yeah, a lot of, well, not all of them, maybe not all of them, but most of the porn websites, they're all owned by the same company. So it's like, sure, Pornhub might not be showing all that because that's the more mainstream one. That's where everyone's going. But I'm sure they have their websites where they're showing that shit for people that know about it. It's like the fucking we were talking about.
Yeah, the video.
Fucking rapey.co or something.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are websites for that, and I'm sure Pornhub knows about them at least.
How trifling it has to be. You have to be just to be a member.
All the fuck, they have to fill out a survey, and you know what one of the questions was for the survey?
But
It said, would you be okay with somebody telling you that they want to rape their 3-year-old in every hole? That's one of the questions. You have to answer to sign up to that
yes
website.
or no?
Yeah, that's why when I was saying, like, if you're on that website, you would not end up there. You did not end up there on accident.
A 3-year-old, like that's crazy.
A 3-year-old, bro. You did not end up on that website by accident. If you're on that website, you went through the survey, you answered these questions, and on top of that, to access some parts of the websites, you had to upload your own actual stuff.
Yeah, like.
So you did not end up on that shit on accident.
What do you think? I got a question. Do you think people should get punished, like parents or whatever, if they find out a guy did something, like, let's say they killed that person, like they killed that guy because they found out they did something to
Legally, I should probably say no. But, or I should say yes, sorry. Legally, I should probably say yes. But, I kind of don't think they should, to be honest.
Punished or something?
For parents getting revenge,
I don't think
parents getting revenge, like if your kid got sucked into that shit, I think you should be allowed to kill them, straight up. I know we're not supposed to say that shit, but
well, beat the shit out of them.
That's how I feel,
beat
bro.
them to death, well, close to death.
That's straight to death, to be honest. That's truly how I feel.
Because it's traumatizing for life, but like.
That's truly how I feel, to be honest.
And that's how much anger you have, bro.
As a Christian, here's the thing.
You don't know how you don't know how you feel. Like you might have so much rage that even after they're dead, you still punch them. A dead corpse. That's how much anger you can be.
Here's the thing, though. Even as a Christian, technically you're supposed to say no, because because there's this one, I don't know if it was a verse or if it was just like a quote, but that shit resonated so much with me. Where it's like, the reason we shouldn't support the death penalty, it's not because the people don't deserve it. It's because you don't deserve to allow your soul to get corrupted to allow that much hatred into your heart. So, as much as I would fucking, if that happened to me and my kid, I would want to beat the shit out of them, beat them to death. And to be honest, I would have that much anger in me to actually beat them to death, not make it a quick, easy death. Like, I would want to make it long and painful, to be honest. If that personally happened to me and my kid. But there is that I guess that quote that kind of just sticks with me, where it's like, you can't let that anger change you as a person too. It is kind of scary because like that does change you. Like if you let that much hatred into your heart, you will definitely be a different person after that. Like you won't, like you don't just get to be like, okay, I'm gonna turn into the Hulk and then just go back.
Yeah, I feel like that's like that's a one-time switch where it's like you switch yourself into a murderer. Like that's essentially what you're doing.
Yeah, but
You're switching your mind into you're a killer now, and that doesn't go away. That sticks with you for life.
Yeah.
So it is something. It is a little scary, but
dude, just being around murder.
I can't really say how I would react, but I don't think they should be punished though. I don't think they should be punished, but I can't personally say how I would react for sure.
I might have died.
There's a bunch of things that can happen that can dismiss it.
Yeah.
Like there's this video I saw earlier about like some deputies literally like
driving, and this girl, like this 26-year-old girl, was walking across the street. Basically, was running, and a cop basically ended up running over her. And in the end, it's just like, you know, she's worth a little bit basically. It's like not even like she was okay. Like she's okay. She wasn't worth that much anyways. Like I was like, damn, bro.
Wait, what?
Like that her life wasn't worth shit.
Wait, but like, well,
A deputy,
uh-huh.
like a police officer, basically was going on this in the city in a road, and this girl walked across the street where they literally have yellow cones and everything, you know, where she's like yield to pedestrians. Yeah. But instead of stopping, slowing down, knowing that they saw the pedestrian running, they fucking ran her over. I think she died, and we can hear it because in the fucking camera it says like basically like her life wasn't worth that much, anyways.
Yeah, see that at that point, that's when you go to jail. Like, that's fucked.
Yeah, and that motherfucker deserves
to. It's just like that was a private conversation, and then they say a lot of cops would say that type of humor to like cope with things. I'm like, what the fuck? A lot of cops do that type of thing.
That's not a way to cope with humor.
After you just ran over someone and
don't get me wrong, I'm all about coping with humor, but that's not humor. That there was no joke there. That's not funny.
For real.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. Like that shit got me mad. Yo. I was just like, what the fuck, why?
Like that's not a joke.
It's crazy because then all that happens to them is they lose their job. They don't go to jail sometimes.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they most of the time they usually just like, yeah, you lost your job, bro.
That's another complicated thing.
I just killed 7 people, but I lost my job because of that. But yeah, and that's only depending on who it is. Sometimes they can get away with shit.
But you see how the George Floyd,
apparently
like he goes to jail, and a lot of other cops they don't go to jail.
Put him behind a prison and buried him there. And the people ask him like, "What would you do?" He's like, "I don't know. I knew I can get away with it."
There's power on there. They think they can do whatever sometimes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. That whole George Floyd shit. I don't know. That's something else. When it first happened, I was on George Floyd's side. I thought it was fucked up and all that. And I remember I even made a post about it, and I was like, "Yo, that cop, he deserves the worst. Like he deserves to rot in jail." And as news came out, I realized it's not what they made it look like. George Floyd died of an overdose. The autopsy confirmed that he had extremely high levels of fentanyl. And although I do agree that maybe the cop should have maybe called
you don't think
the ambulance better?
Like, as an excuse to cover it up?
Well, I think the cover up is trying to blame the cop, to be honest. I think that is the cover up.
Because he was a part of the Freemasonry.
Because to be honest, I think this was all planned out. Because immediately after George Floyd is when all the BLM riots started happening. And that's when we were talking about like the brick pallets started showing up.
A lot of independent companies that were growing up. It's probably big companies are like, yo, these guys are in competition. We should just take them out. Boom.
Take that real estate.
Well, that, and I think a bigger part is also just the fact that they're really trying to divide the country right now. And I mean, you look what happened with the riots. That did just that. It divided the country a lot. I mean, before all of that, I feel like racial tensions weren't as big. Whereas like everyone, I feel like nowadays everyone's like, oh, everything's racist. It's like you gotta be careful about being racist now. Yeah. So everything's racist.
Before it was like, dude, that's why nowadays it's hard to even be a comedian.
But it's hard to even have friends that are a different race nowadays.
So yes,
if you got good friends, you can still be friends. But
Andrew Tate tweeted is sometimes nowadays friendship don't get made because you can't be racist. So, or no, it was you can't be racist no more, and you lose a lot of new friends from that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But you know what I like is
like racist
you
jokes.
make some real
like
good
racist
friends,
jokes.
though.
My fault.
But
Not
you
being
make some-
racist, but have like doing racist jokes.
Just funny, basically.
Yeah.
Not actually be serious, but like, you know.
But you know what? You make some real good friends like this though too, because I be making some
Call of
racist.
Duty, bro, for
I mean,
example.
I make some
Servers,
racist
bro.
ass jokes with my black friends, and they make some racist Mexican jokes. And brother, we're really good friends. I swear.
Sometimes I'm like, that was a good
I swear.
one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like
that was good.
Like, it legit makes you guys closer. It's just like, all right, as like, I feel like more people need to realize that like these jokes aren't hurting you.
You only let it hurt
like,
yourself.
you gotta realize like more than anything, what matters is like how they treat you. Actually, how they treat you, like for real.
Yeah.
When it comes like to this real shit.
There might have been some history in the past, but that doesn't. Don't let that history affect you.
Cause like I said, like
Because you just let that history come.
Like I have black friends where like I'll make racist jokes with them, but like if they need something, I'll take care of them. Like Matt, like the other day he was cramping up, and I was like, oh, what, like I was helping him. I was like, take care of him. I was like, yo, what's up? Like, it's just because I make racist jokes about you doesn't mean I hate you. And I feel like that's a lot. That's what people have forgotten nowadays. Whereas like, it's actually the opposite. Especially where it's like the fact that just in general, masculinity or what is it? Like men have been losing testosterone, and I feel like it is more of a masculine trait to just like that's how we get along as guys. We just insult each other.
Yeah.
I feel like
What, bitch?
Yeah.
What,
hey, what up, you fucking bitch. And I feel like that's been lost on society in general. Whereas like that's just how friends get along. I was like, if I'm insulting you, it's because I care
It's
about
out of
you.
love.
It's straight up. Like I'm not gonna insult people I don't care about. I don't waste my breath on them. Straight up.
That's true.
Like if I really don't care about you, I'm not even gonna waste my time insulting you. I'm just not gonna talk to you at all.
I'll be right back.
Where you going?
To the bathroom.
I just realized you've been on mute.
Me?
Yeah. When you got up, I muted you and then I never unmuted.
That's funny.
Now he bounds unmute. Let me not forget to unmute him.
Right?
But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I read it.
I don't think racism is as big as the problem as people make it out to be. Straight up. That's my opinion on it. And if anyone
I just think
disagrees,
people are just too sensitive nowadays.
yeah, yeah, because it's not even racism. It's just
Like, you
anything.
can't even like just joke around.
You can't make fat jokes anymore. You can't make anything.
That's where it
any
first
type of
started.
joke.
It's like, you body shaming? It's like,
So hell yeah, you fat fuck. Saying lose some weight.
you fucking anorexic
fucking
piece
land
of
well,
shit.
same.
You get blown by the wind. Nah, but yeah, like, it just sucks, bro. You can't just make, effective jokes. Like, I mean, obviously there's like, some point, it gets to a point where you can say it.
I know this kind of makes me sound.
And if you don't like that, then you can always tell your friend not to say
You know what's crazy? Like I know this makes me kind of sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but I feel like it's all connected. Like the fact that you can't make jokes, it leads to the point where eventually we're not allowed to point out things that are true. And that's where we're at right now, where it's like you can't point things out that are true.
Or you get canceled.
Whereas like now you can't. It's not even about jokes anymore. Now you can't even say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. So yeah, I feel like they have their strategies where they introduce it one way.
They're trying to execute the plan already.
Yeah, deadass. Like when they're executing their plans, I feel like they introduce it. And I've noticed this happens a lot with comedy. They'll introduce a lot of things through comedy.
They don't
And then
rush-
work
they're
it
not
into
rushing,
other
They
things.
ain't rock with it. They try to like lubricate it.
Oh, they got time, bro. They execute
They got
their plans.
decades.
Yeah, they do it through generations.
Yeah.
Because like what I realize is like a lot of Freemasons, their kids will grow up to be a Freemason. Their grandkids.
Basically.
It's like
My father was a father of this, and he was doing.
and
this.
that's how a lot of people end
Getting
up.
revenge.
I mean, that's how most people at the
Right.
top. Most people at the top have had so many generations in this shit.
Bedrock or
Yeah, like I'm
Oh,
sure.
you know, there's another thing I heard about is like with all the presidents, apparently they're all part of the same bloodline.
A lot of them have been related. Yeah.
Who? Really?
If you look into it, yeah.
They're all part of the same bloodline. Deep down.
You know, it goes back
like,
to.
for like Biden and Trump were basically like some like long cousins.
I'm telling you,
No
guys,
way.
yeah.
I guess if it goes back to it, yeah, like they keep controlling us within the same party.
I'm telling you guys, it's because it all goes back to the Freemasons. They try to keep their circle as closely knit as possible.
Look at this.
I'm deaf. Ivan, what the fuck? I'm racist. I give kids fentanyl and tell them it's candy. Ivan, what? Ivan, on my free time I help fight kids with cancer. No, bro. Ivan, on my free time I like to throw hot grease at people. Bro, where did you get that? Ivan, I adopt orphans to give them false hope just to give them back up for adoption. Ivan, bro, I'm Ivan, but sometimes they call me
Motherfucking
Ivan.
a menace to society.
I'm Ivan. I gave that homeless guy a sandwich after I wiped my ass with it. I'm Ivan. I don't like black people. Wait. No. I'm Ivan. I just made a purchase today. What? I'm Ivan. I put some blind kids in time training.
The fact that he was excited too.
I'm Ivan. I like to chase girls in the
He's like, I'm free.
Bro, what? No. I'm Ivan and I like to raw dog squirrels. Bro, what the? I'm Ivan.
Why did you post this, Ivan?
It's him. It's Ivan.
Exactly. Just like
He does the current like you too.
Dude, that's what I said.
hi, I'm
You gotta
Ivan.
get yourself canceled, bro. It's like,
Right. Literally just gotta slap some beard on you and you're good.
Bro, that shit geeked.
Had the same haircut, glasses.
you said get canceled, speed run.
Right.
But those are like,
Look
but
what
those,
you purchased. What is it?
let's think about it. Like those jokes are jokes, but like it
Yeah.
ain't real. But no shit, like it's funny.
Yeah,
It's funny when you know it's a joke, yeah.
Yeah, but then those are the things that people get mad at. Like, oh, he's being racist. And
Where he's
shit.
saying
Like,
those kind of jokes, where he's
bro,
saying all
it's
that.
just like, what?
But yeah, here's the thing: is usually if you're not a complete dumbass, you can tell the intentions behind a joke.
Yeah.
Usually.
You're actually aware at least.
Yeah, usually you could tell like, okay, he's
Or you're
just
being
joking.
sarcastic.
Because here's
or
the thing:
something.
is like even if it's a joke, sometimes some people will say things as a joke, but it's like okay, but that's still weird to say as a joke.
Yeah.
Like he said, I'm a raw dog, a squirrel, and that was a joke. And that's funny. That's funny, right? But like if he said that about like a minor, like that'd still be weird, even if it wasn't.
Okay, that's
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's all about the intention and like what you're really saying.
I'm about a raw dog, man. What the?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you said some weird shit, like it doesn't matter how much of a joke it is, and that's where I was getting to. I don't know. I think that's when you left. Where I was talking about it was like a lot of the times they'll introduce things through comedy, whereas like they're trying to make things. I was like, oh look, it's just a joke, but then they would slowly try to normalize it. And it's like things like that. It really depends how the joke is written. I think.
Yeah.
Like in this case, you can very obviously tell he's joking.
Oh, it was all different ones,
Yeah.
videos into one.
But they're all like obvious jokes. So you can obviously tell he's joking, especially with the black guy in the back fucking laughing. Like
He's like, I'm Ivan, and I just made a purchase. And you see a black dude in the back just jump smiling.
but like he makes it very obvious that it's a joke. The point that I was making that earlier was like when
It's
they
a good
introduced
purchase.
like weird shit into comedy was like a big example that everyone kind of refers to whenever we like and whenever anyone talks about this is the transgender shit. And so that used to be introduced a lot into media as a joke. Like a lot of guys would come in with dresses for like comedians. A lot of comedians were like, I think even Dave Chappelle has an interview where he was talking about like for a movie, they kept insisting like, yo, you should make this movie in a dress. Like you should make this one scene where you're wearing a dress.
Oh, you have to be like a girl
Yeah.
in a movie,
And
Are you in right now?
showing that you're willing to do whatever you want for fame.
And that goes to like another reason for it, where some people think it's a ritual of humiliation. Where it's like you have to be humiliated to show that you're really about it, and so they'll make you do shit like that.
John Cena did it. Harry Styles, The Rock.
A lot of people have done it,
What is it called?
and they try to make sure Dave Chappelle do it, and he didn't want to do it. And
So that's why they came out with that. He's crazy. And
that's why they're against him, bro. Because he doesn't.
That's why the reason why he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say no more.
That's why I'm pretty like I'm almost certain that's why they hate him. He knows about the Illuminati, and he's seen them
They were
first.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams too, yeah. And that's what we were talking about. I think 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
We were talking about how he's accusing Kevin Hart of being a sellout for the Illuminati.
Yep.
And there was a big beef that they were having not too long ago. Which I don't know. I kind of believe a little bit. Not to discredit Kevin Hart, but I think there's some truth to that. To be honest,
I don't know.
Dude, Kevin Hart blew up, bro.
Not to say that he's like untalented or unfunny.
He was a good comedian, but he blew up out of nowhere.
I feel like a lot of people
Because he was acting since what's it called, the Scary Movie days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of people misunderstand, like misinterpret that. Like whenever people say they call their soul, that doesn't mean they weren't talented before. That just means that you sold your soul to make it in the industry.
Basically, being more famous and more money.
Because a lot of the times, like in the industry, because the industry, like the people, they're gatekeepers. Mm-hmm. So there will be like people that are at the top of the industry. There's just like for example, like executives at Spotify. They're just like, no, you're not gonna get on any of the Spotify playlists.
Do you want to dance with the devil?
It's just like no, like if they don't like you, you get blacklisted. And you're like, nope, we're not gonna put you on any of our any of our playlists at all. That's where you have to sell your soul. It's not because you have. It's not. Because the original story,
you need to sell your soul just to be able to be
just for them to
places and even accept you. Anymore.
Just for them to work with you. Just for them to work with you. Because I know why people were confused that because the original story of the guy selling his soul was to become talented. It was actually a guy, he didn't know how to play the guitar like that. Yeah. He sold his soul. And he became one of the best guitar players in the world.
It was like metal, like something.
It was blues. He did blues.
Okay.
And I mean, he did a crazy shit where like when he disappeared for some time, right? And then he sold his soul. And when he came back, he was able to do like the craziest, most impossible shit. Where like he was able to like do these finger movements where like people that shit used to be impossible before he ever did it. It's like people didn't even think that shit was possible. Like the finger movements that he was doing, he was like stretching out his fingers and like putting them in like weird ways that just like wasn't natural. And so that's why a lot of people like that, like, oh, he sold his soul to become better. But I think it's been different now. I think in the modern day, it's not like that anymore. Whereas like nowadays, you can. Don't get me wrong, there are still some people that aren't talented, but I feel like even if you're talented nowadays, it's like that's not enough to make it in the industry nowadays. I feel like you have to sell your soul just to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, because they want to stay away from food. That's why every artist nowadays that take forever, our underground artists, is because they're starting their own label, like how Russ did.
Yeah, and even Russ ended up getting sucked in for a little bit.
Yeah,
because he got signed on.
He got half and half with Columbia. But he got
Columbia, that was Paramount.
It was Columbia, owned by Paramount, I think.
Yeah, and then he's just like, fuck that, I'm going back, I'm dipping, continuing my shit.
But he had his own contract where he still kept like a lot of all his stuff.
Yeah.
It was just for him
I think it was just the fact that he saw how fucked the industry was.
He tried to use them.
Well, that, and also, you guys gotta keep in mind, he also did meet Jessie Reyes, who, if you guys don't remember, Jessie Reyes saw firsthand all the corruption too.
Oh,
and she probably told him all the shit that she saw firsthand. Because I think she made a song about it, where she actually, I think she got raped, like trying to get into it. And like that's the type of gatekeeping that they do. It's not even about like. It's not even about.
You gotta do what they tell you.
Like straight up, you gotta like sell yourself out entirely. And it's like they want to have full control over you.
Your music, everything.
Whatever fear you have is what they're gonna do to embarrass you.
So I feel like he, I'm sure he had conversations with her,
so that means
and he knows everything that she saw firsthand. And I mean, on top of the fact that he probably saw his own shit firsthand too. So I mean, like. I feel like he really knows some fucked up shit behind the scenes that he obviously just doesn't want to come out and say. And he's talked about publicly some shit, but I'm sure there's a lot of shit that he doesn't want to talk about too. But he has done, like, I mean, you watch the live streams. He will talk about it on the live streams sometimes, like some of the corruption behind the scenes. He's made songs about it too.
Either on his live stream, some like interviews, and like. He doesn't really go into dudes because he doesn't like to either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of shit that he doesn't want to get into detail because he knows that it puts a target on your back. Like because here's the thing is like a lot of people know a lot of shit, but it's like when you start getting into details and like that's when you really start exposing shit. I feel like that's when they really get mad.
Yeah.
Because it could be a theory.
Exactly. It's like it's not proof.
But once you start proving shit.
Yeah.
Like here's the pictures, here's the recording. All that stuff, then they're like, okay, we gotta do something about this, man.
You gotta shut this guy up. He's saying too much.
You know what people think that what is called Taylor Swift is a witch?
Yeah.
Oh, she is 100%.
Oh no, I think she said she is.
I think there were.
I actually think she did say it. I think she did.
Well, I think there was actually evidence that came out that she's actually related to what's his name?
A back of back then.
A Satanist. The
Yeah.
guy that founded.
His daughter. He looks like the daughter.
And people were saying she might actually be related to the he's one of the guys that founded the modern Church of Satanism. The actual guy that started like modern Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
And they're saying that she might actually be related to him. She might actually be like his grand.
Bro, I heard that she was over here drinking other people's blood.
Her and Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty common apparently
They
in
do
Hollywood.
sacrifices and shit, just drinking other people's blood.
That's what I was talking to my mom about too earlier about the adrenochrome. It's a drug that they use, and that's where that's ultimately where I feel like all the pedophilia leads to is the adrenochrome shit.
Is that the one from Lucy?
Lucy?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about? The movie that
The movie, yeah.
where they have like blue crystals that she got stuck in herself because
Maybe I don't know, but adrenochrome comes from it's adrenaline that comes into, but I think it's not just pure adrenaline. It's like once it's already in your bloodstream. So what they would do is supposedly you get the most potent adrenochrome from little kids. The younger they are, the most potent they are. And so supposedly this is why they rape and abuse little kids, all the elite people, is because the more abused that they are, the more in fear that they are, the more adrenaline that's pumping through their blood, right? And so they try to get as much adrenaline pumping through their blood as possible before they take it out and then use it, the adrenochrome, to drink it. And that drug supposedly helps them stay younger, keeps them alive for longer. And that's why supposedly a lot of older, like rich, really elite people, you see them in like they're over 100 years old. And they're supposedly that's why. It's because they're taking this, basically it's like the fountain of youth, essentially.
you think that's why they did that in the Aztecs or?
I think so. To be honest, I think there's a lot of spiritual. I think there's a really big spiritual connection between drinking blood. To be honest, and whether it's the adrenochrome, maybe it's both. To be honest, there's always a physical and a spiritual explanation to both to everything that happens. I feel like. So I do think there's something.
Because
something
it's like
to be said with
Monster Inc. Where Monster Inc.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah, where like how they scared the
they
kids
get energy
just to
out of
get
it.
the energy.
I don't know. I think there's some truth to that for sure. And the only reason I know adrenochrome is pretty real is because I watched this. There's this one YouTuber. It feels weird to call him a YouTuber. He's a pedophile hunter. He's like one of those YouTubers that like he looks for pedophiles online and he'll track them down and he'll like get the cops involved and expose them. Yeah, and he'll get them arrested and shit. And he tries talking to them, right? Like, cause I was watching an interview where he's talking to them, where he's talking about like what he does for his job, and he was saying that one way he like tries to get information out of them is like he obviously he tries to pretend like he's one of them. He tries to like get them relaxed and talk to them. And he was asking one of them, he's like, so like why are you into this shit? And he told him exactly. He's like, oh, I want to get to adrenochrome. I want to get all that shit. He said for myself because like I want to try this drug and I want to do all this. And he like got into detail all that shit. It's like I know that there's actually people that like look for that shit. Like it's real. Just because like, I'm assuming that pedophile hunter's not lying about it. But I mean, I don't see why he would.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
The camera's about back too, so.
But it's about to be 2 hours.
Damn.
So yeah, this episode was supposed to be about angels and demons, and in a way, it was kind of related to the topic.
Maybe we could always have a
But we're definitely gonna have another episode where we actually talk more specifically about that. But like, yeah, I mean, this was kind of related in a way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Talking about the spiritual war that we're in.
The world is fucked in so many ways.
We're in this deeply entrenched. I think it's all related, to be honest, because I was gonna say like the whole news about the border being open, and the Bedrock shit, like the Bedrock executive, they seem like two completely different stories, but I do think they're kind of related, to be honest, because ultimately they all lead back to the fact that like the open border I feel like people that are supporting that shit are supporting the trafficking of those little kids. There's just like all those little
It's
kids
true
are just
though.
getting
That's
sold.
25 states.
And I mean the Black Rock, you can
25
see how that's
states.
related. 25 states stated that they're gonna back Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's half the country.
That's half the country,
That's what
bro.
I'm saying. So the other half is basically supporting, minors getting taken.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
either
They're
that
just
or they have
uninformed. That's
support- yeah, they have.
which was what I was saying. Which was the point that I was making. Was like I feel like a lot of Democrat voters and like people that support that, they're just not really paying attention to what's happening, and so they think they're on the good team. That's the thing that like kind of scares me. Is like a lot of these people think they're on the good side.
That, or sometimes they
Yeah.
had to pick Democrat or Republican. Sometimes they had to be Democrat just to like push whatever it is. So sometimes, yeah, there's like they like, but they either have to choose from Democrat or Republican, and sometimes when they go Democrat, they get more like help or whatever.
Well, yeah, that kind of does go to like what I have said about like the people. Some people call it Uniparty. Some people call it the Illuminati, the Freemasons, whatever. I have tried to explain this, like whenever people like try to argue like, okay, why do you think that the Republicans are right or the Democrats are right, or like why do you support the Republicans? It's not. I think both sides, like the Freemasons, they have teammates on both sides. Like they're controlling both parties, but also keep in mind that they're trying to keep up this illusion of democracy, right? So they want people who are just paying attention, who are not paying too much attention. They want people to just see that and think, oh, democracy is still working. Like people voted for this shit, right? So in order for that to happen, they have to make it seem like one party wants one thing, one party wants the other thing. So I feel like that's why they make it seem like, oh, the Democrats, they all want this shit. So they're trying to make it seem like, oh, the
So
Democrats.
it's easier to be, they're more manipulative. So let's like, all right, let's just make something come true that they said. So they believe this is the right party.
So people think like, oh, well, this party it's
He
just
thinks I'm
people
wrong.
people voted for this shit. Whereas like, as opposed to like being like, well, ultimately it didn't matter which party you voted for. They were just gonna push the same agenda. They just making it seem like it's the Democrats that want this to happen.
So this is what I was talking about earlier.
Trying to blame someone else.
Basically,
So what I was talking about earlier, like in the beginning, was
because if you talk to most Democrats, they don't support this shit. They don't support the LGBT agenda that the politicians are pushing.
no.
But they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this party supports it though.
So
Just so it can seem like the democracy is working.
So the thing that I was talking about earlier, which has been affecting our election as well, was in like the 19-something where I was talking about. Before they weren't able to get like donations from like corporates, like hired things, whatever. Like they weren't able to get charity or like donations. But in 2010 or like the early 1990s or something, they passed a law where they passed something to where they can get donations from like corporate or like whatever. So pretty much, if they want something, they can get pretty much donate some money for that specific person.
Yep.
And so they can get into like.
They basically just pay them like, yo, I'm gonna give you this much money, donate for your campaign fund,
I want you to try to push this.
and then if you win, you gotta push this law for me. But yeah, it's all fucked.
Yes. Well,
Start
wrap it up.
But this whole episode was just for you guys to have some awareness of all the strategies that they try to pull.
I do want to watch the movie that comes out though.
I'll probably still watch it, even though I do think it is going to be some propaganda in there. But I don't want to miss out on it. I don't want to miss out on the propaganda. I want to know what's going on. It's good to know what your enemies are saying, even if they are just trying to brainwash you.
But alright then guys, thank you guys for watching. This is Ramblings in the Basement.
It's been a great episode.
Great episode.
We're going to get canceled after this one. We
We
always say that.
always say that, but
Nobody's listening. But yeah, hopefully nothing too crazy happens.
alright, let's do a thumbnail.